We're live.
Use the microphone on the phone.
Now let me try that. See if that works. Give me a second. Mute myself.
Point the phone towards you.
Well, I think I like the view right here. Just got to talk about what's going on. Then I can show. Let me mute myself. Maybe that might work. I have no idea if I can do that.
Nope.
You can hear, but you can hear me now.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Hey, Sierrah. Hey, King. How you doing? Hey, folks. This is my co-host. He's here for a while, but not for too long. This is Pest Hunter from Pest Hunter Outdoors. And his wife Molly is not with him at the moment, but she may pop in externally. We don't know. For those of you who are over on Herbert T. Outdoors' channel, or still are, I'm not sure. This video is prompted by my niece Sierrah, who recently started working with my wife. And I was trying to explain to her about my channel, what I'm doing, and my get home bag. And she goes, "What's a get home bag?" So I brought out my bag and I told her some of the stuff I have in there. He goes, "There's no way you have all that in there." And then I started pulling things out. I felt like a magician pulling rabbits out of a hat type situation because I know how to pack what I have. And I'm going to show here because I got a secondary camera set up. That's probably why you hear an echo slightly. That this is here in front of me is a card table. I'm going to be showing everything right now. I'm with Jason's help. He's going to help me go over that. Hey, you doing, Daniel? Hey, Tiffany, how you doing? For those people who knows what a get home bag is, a get home bag is an emergency bag to carry with you in case of emergencies, not necessarily life-threatening or end of world. It could be anything.
If you have to abandon your vehicle.
Roads are blocked. You cannot get home normally. Okay, but you still have to work your way till you get there. My bag is a 60-liter bag, which I'll be showing you in a minute. And I'll be pulling things out one piece at a time, and I'll explain why I have it in there and where I won't show you how to pack it at the moment, but I will show you what I carry. Hopefully, by the end of this, I will be able to show you the entire bag in its entirety empty. Then I'll have to repack it after the live, obviously. But this is a really cool bag. I got this one off the TikTok shop, but you can also pick it up off of Amazon too. I will probably try to find the link for that and put it in the description below after the live. I don't have all that information put together yet. So starting out, if anybody knows any questions about it, this could be a part of your EDC. It's my everyday carry. Where it goes, where I go, it goes. Not including the stuff I carry in my pocket, obviously. But the one part of get home bag that people don't think about is clothing. But a lot of that stuff can be carried in your vehicle, where a lot of people should be carrying their get home bags mostly, or at their workplace, depending on where they store it. Jenny has her stuff in the trunk of her car. So my job, if I was working in Des Moines at the time, if anything happened, I'd have to work my way to her. And then we head out from where she's at to home. So, or someplace safe so we get home. Okay, I'm going to start off with my main pocket. Bear with me, folks. I haven't really pulled everything out of here all at once in a while. I've only done piecemeal for those people who know me. And for those people who are interested in what I carry, I'll explain where I got it and why I carry it. Okay, the first three pieces are all one item. Okay, you might consider this one cover. Normally, people carry a single tarp in their get home bags, which I do have one right here. Very lightweight, Bridgeline tarp, weighs next to nothing. But I have a wife who does not like sleeping outside.
Oh,
So
somebody says solo. They're looking for a solo cup.
no, this what the tent or
Oh,
the tarp. The tent
no, I'm
itself
teasing.
is a
PR.
Copper Spur 2 backpacking tarp. I acquired this last year while I was temporarily assigned to the D.A.V thrift store, and I picked up. I paid $4.95 for this piece. I paid $4.90. I think it $3.95 for this piece. Sorry, no, $4.95 for this too, and $1.95 for this one. So we're just a little over $12. So that's just under $12. A little less than that with military discount because they give a 20% discount. Normally these all come in one piece, but this one comes with the footprint and everything else. It's a 2-person tent, more than enough room for Jenny and I. I would because I have the bigger bag. I can carry more than here. Even though I have a knee injury, I can still carry more because I'm stronger. This will allow us to.
You turn the other camera.
Oh, sorry, folks. I don't have it out. Give me a second. I am so clumsy right now. So this is sorry. Let me show you again. This is the tarp. This one here is a Z-Packs Super Center model. I'm sorry if I can get that up there. Oh, sounds like somebody's got a thing going on. So it's just me right now. This is in currently. It's in a what's the name of the bag? Osprey bags. That's what they moved them to. Normally they're in one bag. They're separate, but together. But this time they separate them so they can pack better. But this one here is a Z-Packs Ridgeline tarp, probably about a 12 by 12 or about 11 by 12. I have not really had this one open yet, but it weighs less than a pound. Normally, I would try to keep that with that for an extra set of coverage just for safety purposes. But this right here allows us cover. It's a freestanding tent, so it does not necessarily need to be staked down. But I do have a good number of all the stakes I need for this. And this right here is also about 3 pounds for all this. So the poles. This one, I think this one here is the. I'm not sure if this is the rainfly or not. This is the rainfly because it says right. I'm not sure if you guys can read that or not. Please, right there it says rainfly, and this also has the footprint in here as well. So that will protect your tent and make it last longer in any given situation. That way it doesn't rot as you travel. So I'm going to set this aside for now and go on to the next item. Another 2 items that you probably haven't seen yet, which is like this one right here that you would keep in your bag, is a battery pack. This is an Anchor. I can't remember the brand on this one. This is a 20,000 milliamp Anchor battery. It does have its own cord, built-in cord. And right now I'm using it to charge my phone as I use it as a camera here. So look, I can't really zoom on the phone. So please forgive me if I can't zoom. I'm doing the best I can. Okay, everybody knows what this one. This was my Nalgene bottle with a 1 liter, full 32 ounces of water. A Nalgene bottle. Set that right there. This is my hygiene kit. I got this as a USO care package. So this has got my toothbrush and all this other stuff I need to keep, some extra deodorants, shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush. that kind of thing. Now, this right here, this is an Optimus fuel bottle. I carry denatured alcohol in this, but you can also carry other kind of fuels such as 100%. Oh, give me a second here. I'm trying to bend and twist. You can carry. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to line myself up here. This is 99% isopropyl alcohol. This will also work in the stove. I'm going to be showing you in a second. I'm going to set this over here. Those are my two extra fuel sources for the stove that I carry with this one, because I don't need to carry a lot as a get-home bag. But everything else for my cook set is here, with exception of the stand and stove, which I'll show you too. This is an MSR cook set, 1 liter. I picked this up at a secondhand store for $7, with most of the items that you complete in here with a few add-ons. It came with this MSR kettle. Now, I can't tell you where how old this kettle is, because I could never find it online. I found the kettle, the pot, and all this setup for $7. So I got lucky. That's my biggest thing I could tell you. It does have a separate pot, and this, the handle this and stuff like that. And I have a tendency to use this as either a skillet or a plate. Now, inside the kettle is where I keep most of the stuff, like my supplies. My hydration setup, which is basically coffee and drink mixes. Instant coffee, I use filters for those people who know me. And I use basic Walmart brand electrolyte drink mixes, because it's good for you. This is my transient knockoff. This is aluminum. It's a simple alcohol stove, which is what I use the denatured alcohol for. As you guys can see, it's just a simple little stove.
Colin, make the camera one large picture.
Oh, thank you for letting me zoom in. I apologize. I'm not used to doing two things like that. Oh, there we go. How's that? Okay, this is the transient that I use. This right here is my second one I've had. I gave my first one I got to Herbert T, because he didn't have one. I'm a firm believer in alcohol stoves. They do work, and this weighs next to nothing. Along with in there, I carry an MSR pot holder, which allows me to clamp onto my pots and stuff like that. And if I use the lid as a small shallow pan, I could do the same, but it's not as easy, obviously. It also came with a little Scotch-Brite scrubber pad. I got 2 of them in here. And it came with some Sierra Dawn camp suds, but I don't know where I put that at the moment, so it's not in here. This is just a small thing of salt and pepper from a container I picked up for like $0.25 at a yard sale. This stuff here allows you your food not to be bland. I mean, I could add like Pest Hunter's dry rub, or I could use my Mrs. Dash, which, by the way, I did find packets that I'm going to add to my kit that are individual packets for Mrs. Dash. So that might end up going in my kit, which will be a lot easier to carry than around in a full bottle, which I might be sending out for people, because that stuff is totally amazing. Though it's up to you. But like I said, most of this kit, with the exception of my little stove, I got for $7. But this is what I carry with me, because with the alcohol stove, I can last several days with just the alcohol we have right you see right here. Actually, I could probably last about 2 weeks because this runs about an ounce of fuel. It'll boil water. It does take a little longer since it's alcohol, but it does boil. Put my coffee and stuff back in here. Now, if you're wondering what I set this stuff on, that's the next item, which is right here. This is a Sterno flat pack stove. This was an old school version, since the design being like what it is right here, as you can see. This thing here can be used in several configurations, but you can use it with Sterno, which I do not like using Sterno because it just does not work for me. I'm sorry to say. Give me a second. I'm trying to remember how I put this dang thing together. Oh, I am so stupid. I'm sorry. I don't look at this chat room. What does what have foam in it, Daniel? Now, if Jason, if you could help me with something when I'm doing this, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you could let me know if someone's asking a question, or I can, keep track what's going on in the chat. Because I'm currently about 3 or 4 feet away from my computer right now, and I could barely read the chat from here because the words are like very, very, very tiny. I'd greatly appreciate it if you're able to. Okay. All right, this is right here, as you can see, is the Sterno stove. It even says so. I'm not sure if you guys can read that right there. It's fairly sturdy. The alcohol stove fits right in here. And you can cook all your food and whatever it is on that one. But if in a pinch, if you needed to, you can make this into a twig stove by throwing twigs in here. And you can use that as a twig stove as well. So this has several options you can use. But the fact that it packs flat is one of the reasons why I carry it. Give me a second here. Now, trying to remember how to pack everything away is the hardest part of all this. But I keep it in here to keep the soot down and keep my gear as clean as I physically can. Now, I don't have a bag for this. I'm sure it came with one originally, but I don't have one. Did I miss anything there, Jason? I can hear you moving around down there.
I was actually busy with the nurse, so.
Okay.
You should be back here in about
Hear my question
20, 30 minutes.
You?
No, I had to turn it all down.
Okay. My question is, could you keep an eye on the chat for me if someone has a question for me?
Oh, yeah, if I can, I'll try to bring it up.
Okay, thank you.
When I'm not busy.
Because like I said, I'm having trouble reading it because the words are small from here.
Hold on.
I can't even read it on my phone because it's so tiny. But this right here, this is actually the heaviest thing I have in that particular pouch, that section of my backpack. It's heavier than my tent, which is surprising. I mean, this is solid steel. No wonder. So I'll put that over there. But that's my cook set over there with the stove. So it's not much to it, but that will last at least a week or more, especially with this amount of fuel. Now, I'm not done with the pouch, though. I got more. You guys should recognize these items. This is my folding saw. This is my Black & Decker folding saw. It's locking. I haven't used it in a while, but it does have, it's a push-pull, so it cuts both directions. I paid $5 for this at a Dollar Tree. Sorry, Dollar General. And this thing will cut down 6-inch tree logs really easily without binding. I haven't had any issues with it yet, which is really surprising because first of all, I've never heard of this brand. I didn't know they had folding saws like this, but I'm glad I found it. Everybody who, I hate to say this, bushcrafts, there's a lot of moras going around, as you guys already know. This is the, which one is this one? This is the, not sure what it is. This is a mora, but it's the carbon, which will be shown, the reason why the carbon one in a bit. But that's one of my knives. I got more than one. This is just one of them. Let's see what else is in here. Pair of extra socks. For those people, if you're doing any walking for any length of time, having a change of socks is a must. For those people who know me, I always carry a bow with me. I am not going to show my bow right now because that's a whole different part of the video, but this is what I carry with my bow. This is my arm guard. And that pocket that's it for that pocket. Next pocket is the next main pocket. I'm not going to go through my full kit here, but this is my fire kit. I have several items in here. I'm not going to pull everything out. Spare lighter. I do carry one of these in my pocket, my front pocket, but it's always good to have a spare because, as the saying goes, two is one is none. So, and the first of my many ferro rods. So it comes with a striker, but I can always use the back of my mora if I need to. So if I needed to use this as a twig stove, I have a way of starting that. Now, a good portion of my fire kit was given to me by Foxit Outdoors, Cliff, and I've added on to it since then. And one of the things that I have added since then is I got an SOL hexamine tablets, fuel tablet thing, which can also be used with my stove, but I keep it separate. It's called a Firelight Fuel Cube. So I could use that with that to boil water as well. Emergency matches, another ferro rod, some fat wood, a couple of repair kits, emergency fishing kit. I do have a fishing pole in there somewhere, or unless I think I might have took it out. It's right over there, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. But that's just if I have to get to the point where I have to find food. Hopefully I won't, because we should have some food in there, which will be in Jenny's bag. But that's basically my full kit for that. I'll set that right there. Okay, is CR coming in?
Don't know. I just got a brief moment here for just a few moments.
Okay. If you want to come up, CR, and help me with this and answer the questions in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. So that way I could focus on what I'm explaining and why. Because like I said, my niece is one who asked me about this, and I'm trying to explain what I carry and why I carry it. Remember, a lot of this stuff I'm carrying for two people, not just myself, because I have to worry about Jenny wherever I go. So if I'm in, say, Des Moines and I have to get home, we can't stay where she's working at, whether the power's out or due to a tornado or what have you. And we can't afford to stay in a hotel, and if our friends can't help us, we have to work, make our way home. So this is one of the reasons. Um, I'm not going to use
I'll
any.
make it a long camping trip.
It would be a long camping trip.
Yeah.
We do have sleeping bags and stuff like that, but that's in our vehicle, and that's going to
Yeah.
be for a later, on her side of the stuff, which I don't have. This is just mine, what I carry.
He says he's charging his phone at the time.
Okay. Now, this bag here is my water purification kit. Yes, I could boil water in my pot if I needed to, and once I run out in my water bottle there, but I have a simple Sawyer Mini, and I got it's a basic Sawyer Mini kit, so nothing fancy, but it allows me to purify water, that kind of thing. I shouldn't have to, but I have other means to explain later down the road. That's in my other pouches that you'll understand why. This is for me because I have my knee problems and stuff like that. So this is
By the
ibuprofen.
way, is your niece even watching?
She had an emergency, but she said she'd watch it after.
Later. Okay.
Yeah, her mom, my sister, came down with pneumonia today. Yeah, and she's a cancer survivor, so it's pretty serious.
Yeah.
But she'll go back and rewatch it.
Okay.
So that way, and I know for a fact that Daniel was interested in all the gears and gadgets that I carry in my bag. That most people do. You know what I carry.
Oh yeah.
But not everybody does, and I know CR probably does.
CR is going to know about as much as I do.
Well, you've seen most of it. Yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen all of it, but you've seen most of it.
Yeah.
Because I've got stuff in here you haven't seen, I'm sure. I mean, these are the Yuko survival matches for anybody who was curious. I'm not used to holding up to another camera, by the way. That's something I'm getting used to. I decided to do this at the last minute. Okay, I told you I had a secondary knife, which backups, 2 is 1 type of situation. This is the knife I acquired recently from Cornfed Outdoors. This is a Flissa, which is styled very similar blade-wise as a Mora, but this one's a lot beefier, in my opinion. It's a lot wider and heavier. Same 90-degree spine and everything, D2 steel, but it's good to have a backup. Generally, what I'll probably end up doing is giving one of my knives to Jenny to carry, and I'll carry the other. Okay, paracord. Should need any explanation why I got it. It's good for everything. Now, not that I don't already carry paracord with me, but this is 50 foot or 100 foot of paracord.
Hello, Lou.
Hey, Lou. Glad you can make it. Thank you for letting me know he's here. Yes, you guys will know that there will be no bow drill in my kits. I don't do bow drill. Okay, this one here, I'm actually seen a lot of people forget about these. You've seen people put emergency gloves and stuff like that for medical reasons. Everybody should have a pair of regular work gloves, because there's going to be times you're not going to want to get stuff on your hands you don't want, besides medical wise, but
Yeah.
keep you from.
Remember, you want a pair of work gloves and you want a pair of keep warm gloves.
Keep
If
warm
those
gloves,
work gloves,
jacket, but that's separate.
Yeah, those gloves get wet, they're going to get cold.
Okay,
It'll make it worse.
I'm actually going to do something which I love the way that I'm able to do with my all my pouches to this bag. All my pouches on the external side are eligible to be removed, which was one of the features of the bag, why I liked it so much. So I can either keep it on the side or I can move it somewhere else, but this is just one of the other bags. So, and this one here, I should be putting this in here, but I didn't. That's my deodorant. These are extra steaks, which I use to keep for this right here. So this is the steaks for this tent this tarp right here. I'm trying not to overwhelm my table because I got a lot of stuff still. That's the two main pouches are already done, folks. This is why I'm starting on this pouch here. This is one of my side pouches. This has actually got quite a few items in here. A set of Hoyle waterproof playing cards. For those people who understand when you're in a situation and everything else, you need something to distract yourself, practice your magic, play solitaire, whatever. You got a way to keep yourself occupied mentally, besides worrying about what's going on around you, especially at night in the tent when you're all closed up, especially if it starts raining. Box knife needs no explanation. Understand why that's needed, because you never know when you might need one of those.
Yeah, we might find a random box to open up and find a new cache.
Yeah. Also, this is also this is my pack cover for rain. So if it rains, I can protect my pack and keep everything dry. And that's it, the extent for that bag right there. I'm gonna put this down here. Go to the other side. I got 3 pouches I can take off, which is really nice. This is the other side. Very same style pouch as the other side. Bandana and an extra hair tie. You might want to call it a ranger band. I call it a hair tie. And one of my Army knife, fork, and spoon set with an S-beaner, connected by an S-beaner. The second of my ferrule rods. It's a 6-inch, half-inch diameter ferrule rod, using my dad's one of my dad's shot casings from his funeral. It was 21 gun salute. Most of this is geared for winter, so that's why you'll probably see some winter items in here. So I haven't had a chance to switch things over. So these will probably either come out and I can repack them with something else. But this is my my John E. Hand warmer. And I do have some Zippo fuel, which is, you can actually see it laying down to your on the bottom corner where the name of the thing is.
Yeah, your bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah. Ian actually found that today in the Walmart for $1.97 a can.
Yeah, about right.
The thing is, they haven't
in the metal
Zippo fuel at Walmart in years.
So, yeah, it's good to carry it in the metal can because it's not going to have the corrosive stuff for against the metal.
Yeah. So this is the Zippo fuel.
Yeah,
which is
get the plastic one.
It's better than the Rossen this stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to use that stuff.
Use this. Even though the plastic is lighter, this is more durable.
Not only is it more durable, but it's also not as corrosive.
Exactly. Thank you for that comment. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Like I said, I'll be in and out.
Okay, this is another fire kit that I have. This is my this is my fire steel, which is my ferrule rod. Not my ferrule rod, but my flint and steel. which is my preferred method over everything else. But because if all these others fail, or I lose them, or they deteriorate, whatever, my flint and steel will always work, even wet. And I don't have to worry about. I'm sorry, Joe Robinette. I'm going to mention this. If you accidentally drop your ferro rod in the fire, it won't go up. Please forgive me for that one, Joe, but it is what it is. Which I keep some extra magnesium shavings. My Hudson Bay Survival Tin has my ferro, my striker and my flint in there. I'm not going to break that out because that's just too much. And I got some extra char cloth, some probably jute right there, and some my tin for making char cloth. And my shooting glove with my bow. For those people who know me, I usually carry a bow with me. Take down, easy to compact, which I carry with me wherever I go. Now, onto the main last pouch. I haven't actually carried this thing off for a while, so this is going to be fun. Which is really, this one actually has a really neat feature to it. This bag is now empty. Just to let you know, this bag right here is now empty. Just to let you know. The last of my items are, give me a second here. I got to move my mouse here. This is my last pouch that I carry at the bottom of my bag. I'll give you the name of the bag and everything else when I can in the back, like I said, down in the description down below. This can also be used as a waist pouch around your waist, so you don't always have everything around carried on your back. It has the extra carrying stuff. So we'll start with the big pouches here. Medication for yourself. This is my heart medication, which I have to take every day. I got this an 8-day supply. This is my camp says I was telling you about. This is just a bigger version of it, but I do have some. It just the bottle wouldn't fit in that bag. Another thing that was if you're going to be doing your get home stuff, is some kind of foot balm for your feet. This is a Naked Bee foot balm for helping for blisters and things like that. It also has the strap for allow you to carry it around your waist like a fanny pack, or you can carry it over your shoulder as a sling bag. So it has several options you can carry that at. We'll start off on this side right here. I'll turn it around for the other side. I do have a couple places where I can put stuff here and here, which I'll probably end up doing, but not at this time. Okay, this is my snake bite kit and bee sting kit. Just a simple bee teeth. You can pick these up at Walmart or anywhere else. A heart Allen wrench set. For those people who know my gear, this is part of my archery stuff. And that's it for that section. Yes, I have two of these for a reason. I got two exact ones. This is just an older version. Same exact kit, this one's older. But in this one, I carry a silk cock key. For those people who have to travel through cities and stuff like that, like I would have to, if we run out of water before we leave town, I have an access key to get into most water spigots, on buildings and other places that don't have the little handles. You can find these pretty much at any flea market, secondhand store, sometimes even yard sales, and hardware stores may carry them as well. That's it for that pouch. Now, the last pouch is the front pouch, and I carry several items in here. Another triangular bandage. This one's like a sling with an extra band because you never have two. Because I have to deal with my wife and myself, not just me. Compass and my headlamp. I know I should take my batteries out and set them aside or turn them around backwards, but I haven't done that yet. But that's it, folks, what I carry in these pouches and stuff. In my bag, this is what I carry. This is my half. Like I said, this is only half what I got. The other half would be carried by Jenny, which would be the food and the medical items, other medical items. So these two items here would be split up. One would be for her, one would be for me, and go from there. And she would have her own versions of her pill case and things like that. She does have her own water bottle filter, which is a filtered water bottle, so she can use that. But that's what I've got for now. Now the questions. Go for it, folks. I do have some other items I just misplaced. I can't figure out what I did with them, but I'll find it after a bit. Make sure I didn't miss anything too. There is some modifications to this bag. My main bag that I am going to plan on doing, which I'll explain in a bit, but I'm only hoping. Oh, I missed an item in the big bag, so please forgive me. One more item, and this is from Tapirus. This is a backup spork that I acquired recently. What's really cool about it, not just that it's a spork, obviously. It does have its own little knife in there. It is serrated. I'm not a big fan of serrations, but it will work like a steak knife. And it does come with its own mini ferrule rod as well. But that's a nice little setup. I knew I had it. It just was in another pouch. I'm monetized, Daniel, and I have it set to run commercials at a balanced part of my lives. That way, that's how I get paid. How much water can I carry? Between Jenny and myself, more than what you think, because, like I said, I have. Give me a second. More than one Nalgene bottle. This one here actually is glow in the dark. So this is about 64 ounces between the two of us. Plus, we can carry some water bottles in our car. So that'll get us to a point. First aid would be in my wife's pack, Daniel, as I said, because I be carrying the majority of the heavy gear. My wife can't carry as much as I can. So I'll be carrying the shelter and some of the main fire items and cooking items. But I am fully trained in first aid, and I used to be an EMT as well. I do have a first aid kit. It's just not here because we had to use it this morning. It's in the kit bathroom at the moment. Which I will probably end up adding a small kit, probably about the same size as this pouch right here, as a small boo-boo kit. But that's, I got to find another pouch I could add to. She does. She has her own knife. For those people who know me that I do had bought in the past a Mora Light My Fire. And I realized once I got the new Flissa, I didn't really need it, but she didn't really have a decent Mora of her own and ferro rod and that kind of thing. So I made sure that she has one now, along with some Yuko fire starters and matches and the like, as backups to me. Also, for those people who are wondering for sanitation and things like that, this Camp Suds can be used. It's biodegradable. It could be used for your hair, your clothes, your dishes, everything. So I'm a firm believer in this stuff. A few drops goes a very long way. I've washed my hair in this stuff and this stuff here while backpacking. This one here is a 8-ounce bottle, which I picked up from Bass Pro for about $10. As you can see, this I've got a little bit left in here, but you can barely see it's like right here. This will probably last me about 2 weeks for about this much in the bottom of the bottle, and it'll last me about 2 weeks for both of us. So this is more than plenty. This is what I have left after like 5 or 6 years of use. That's pretty cool, Daniel. Now, are you planning on making a kit for Tiffany as well, or no? Or do you have any other questions for my gear, of any of the gear I have? I do have some gear that's, you don't normally see. I am probably going to add something that's a little different to my archery setup, which is going to be carrying with me, since I have now acquired a left-handed bow fishing reel, which I can carry with me that's small. So I'll probably add that to my thing, which I could also use it as a regular fishing reel if I needed to in a pinch, since I do have the fishing kit a part of this kit right here. So I can use the string that comes with it. I can use it for fishing, or I can use it for bow fishing, depending on the case. So acquiring food should be fairly easy. But we're going to try to use what we have first before we get to that particular point. Now, I would rather you ask me here, if you could, please, Daniel, because that way, if my niece has any questions, I could refer to your question and things like that, if you would, please. Bug spray. Thank you, Tyler. Bug spray, I don't generally carry because it's usually toxic. And also, people can smell it on you from a long ways off. Citronella oil, you can carry that. I don't have any on the moment. That would be in Jenny's kit, which would be also with the first aid kit, along with styptic pencils, bandages, got some iodine swabs and things like that. Which, by the way, the iodine swabs can also be used for water purification in a pinch. That's more of a last ditch type of thing if everything else fails. So we'd have to go through 2 different water filters besides, one filter besides this one, which is the one she carries, her little water bottle that filters, and those iodine before I get to the point where we would need to use the iodine, obviously, but the iodine would be the last resort. I'm not a big fan of doing that because it's not a long-term situation, besides boiling, which always works. And thanks for coming, Tyler. I really appreciate it. Now, is there anything here you want me to explain or go into detail about again? Because I don't have no problem doing that. This can also, like I said, this could be used as a sling or a waist pouch if you needed to. That way you don't have to carry your main pack with you if you're going out to do a little scout. So that's always a good thing. I do have an idea about upgrading this pouch here, this bag here, because one of the pouches here in the front, where my patches are, as you can see right here, this space right here behind the patch expands, but there's nothing connected to this empty space right here. It's like negative space. So I was thinking about adding a zipper right here to open that up to add another liter or two of storage. Which then I could probably put in a small first aid kit and some water purification tabs and things like that. Three foam? Okay, explain foam. Well, we have two bandanas. I've got a triangular bandage, which is really a 3-foot triangle, which we could use that for. And I also have another regular square bandana. Jenny's going to have her own. She actually has one of the hats that she owns actually has a neck cover. It's for, sort of, it goes from the back of the hat all the way down to across her shoulder, so it covers her neck. Like I said, she's going to probably be carrying that stuff along with the food, which is probably going to be backpacking food, such as either Mountain House or something similar, or a version of backpacking food that I've carried in the past, like instant potatoes and things like that. I'm not a fan of bug spray either. A little bit of citronella oil goes a long way. So there's that. Some people might suggest peppermint oil or something like that. I don't know about that, how it works. I've never had to deal with it. But that's neither here nor there right now because it just depends on the time of year if it's raining or not. No, it does not. It's just an empty, open tin. That is it's a Trangia knockoff is what it is. It's like a knockoff of a knockoff. It is a really good alcohol burner, and it will burn really, really well. I'm not going to light one up right now because, my wife doesn't like me doing that. But I will, it does burn for about 17 to 18 minutes per ounce of fuel. And just for your guys' clarification, this is a 18 fluid ounce bottle, but that goes up to the line. I got it filled up a little bit further than that. So that will last about 2 weeks or so with that. Now, this one here is just an extra bottle here. And this one here is 1 pint of straight up isopropyl alcohol, but it's 99%. So it burns a little bit more cleaner, more efficiently. So both of those would work really well together. You can either use other fuels and things like that. I do have a plan to add an addition to all this because I know where there's a Whisper Light International that's fairly cheap on Facebook Marketplace that I'm looking at, which allows me to be able to use unleaded fuel or white gas, but unleaded fuel would be more readily available everywhere, which I could just put in my fuel bottle once it's empty and then reuse it that way. But I don't have that at the moment, but that's part of the whole thing.
I'm back.
Welcome back. It doesn't need a wick.
Say again?
My Trangia does not need a wick.
What doesn't need a wedge?
My Trangia stove.
Okay.
It does not need a wick. I've actually pared down what I normally carry. Now, I had totally forgot I had carried 2 of these, but I carry 2 for a reason. But this is Jenny's. This one's mine. So this will be going into Jenny's bag. Hey, Molly. Jason's being
Hello.
narrow best he can. Now, if I don't want to set up my full encampment setup, I could just use the tarp. I do have more room in my bag for the tarp, but or I could strap it to the outside, that kind of thing. But I have access to be able to do all that. So I have like three knives, four if you want to count this one, which I don't, because this one here is not sharp. It will never be sharp, no matter what I do to it. But it is very, very strong, and it's great for cooking. So if I were able to get fish, I will be able to do stuff with that. On top of the EDC, explain, CR? Jason, you're not keeping on top of highlighting. Can you highlight names on the side like I can? Or not?
No, I cannot.
Okay, then I will do that because, well, I can't read it there. I can read it there. I can read it at the bottom there. Okay. Like pocket stuff. What? Okay. I need a better explanation because I mean I've got my pocket stuff on top of this is what you're talking about. My pocket carry.
On top of your everyday carry.
My everyday carry, I carry a Gerber suspension on my hip. I carry a Sheffield folding knife in my left pocket. I carry a Tac Force EMT blade on my right, flip knife, spring assist knife on my right pocket, along with a mini Bic, which is protected from being used with a zip tie. I carry a ferro rod and in my left pocket with striker, and I also carry a magnesium bar with striker in my right. So I carry a little bit of redundancy everywhere. Correct. Layered preparedness. It's
Like an onion.
Then not need it, then need it, then not have it. Yes, that's a little paranoid, but as Jason knows, things can happen. Right, Jason?
Oh, yeah.
So remember, if you don't have it, one of your family members should. And since you and Molly are always together when you travel, that makes sense to me. At least you'll have it in your vehicle where you can get to it.
Yeah.
Now, a beagle carry is a whole different video, and I'm not going outside right now. But I carry a military sleeping bag, sleep system, which I realized about a month ago, like, holy freaking cow, I can use that for everything, not just winter, because I can break it down into individual things. If I want to use it for the summer, I just use the patrol bag and the bivy cover and all this other stuff. So I've got options, and I picked that thing up really, really cheap for like $9. So got lucky on that one. Okay, cool. I do not own a neck knife, folks, but I do, because in case you guys are wondering, I do have around my neck, I have a Olight. I carry it around on a string around my neck.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan. I will try to make a list of all my stuff and try to put it on down below if I can, because I mean that's a lot of stuff to write down. I'll do the basic stuff, but not too much. I don't think. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, you can, spend the time, fill out the description.
Because it's going to take some time. Because I've got
Yeah.
a lot of options.
How much time do you have?
Good. Since you were talking about it, Jason, I just realized I have a backup to my backup on alcohol fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it is?
But like I said, how much time do you have to put everything in the description below?
Right. And that item, if I can remember where I put it, is the actual fuel for my my hand warmer. The Zippo fuel would be a backup. Now, would I want to do that?
Mom says it's too big. You have to get her a smaller one.
Yeah, probably. I do have backup fuel for the Sterno stove, which is just this solid fuel tabs. Now, I don't have any experience using these. If you guys do, let me know, because I just acquired them here and there because I find them for like 25 cents at secondhand stores and stuff. So I've got 2 of them right now. I didn't buy them brand new. I just bought them secondhand. Most of my gear is secondhand. Not all of it, but most of it. My battery pack, which is I consider a major must for your get home bag, is because you need to make sure your devices are charged for one reason or another, especially communication. As long as there's communication, you're going to need to keep your devices charged. So you're getting a knife pretty soon there, Jason?
No, I might have to now. Well, I said something.
Okay.
It'll be a little while.
I know I'm just going with what Daniel's saying, but I'm trying to figure it out.
No, like I said, we've had a little bit of a setback, so.
I'm going to try something. I'm not sure if this will work or not. I got my YouTube side up now, but I don't know if I can highlight that or not. Can I highlight that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it crosses over. I'm still probably going to need to rely on you to read me the chat because I can barely read it.
Okay.
Because I'm just ahead of my short vision with my bifocals.
Yeah.
Having backup glasses, by the way, folks, whether it's get home bag or whatever, you should always have spares. And like I said, I do have backup cordage. Let me bring this down because I don't really.
And you have all your batteries charged for tonight? Extra warm blankets?
For who?
For you.
Oh,
and same thing with Rob.
I charged this right before my live.
Yeah, especially with Rob, because you guys got some nasty weather coming in.
Yeah, I do have an extra battery, which is a 26,800 milliamp battery, which I got charging over here. And like I said, I'll charge this before I go to bed. The only reason I got it plugged in right now because I'm doing a live. I didn't want it to drain my phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have my address, Daniel? I don't think I given my address yet. At least I don't think I have. I will give it to you later today before whatever. Jason, do you have any questions about my gear?
Actually, I do not because I missed a lot of it myself.
Okay. CR.
Looks like you're
whoever else.
right about 1 a.m.
I rotate my battery banks too. I could barely read that, CR. You guys can't tell, but I'm actually looking up. Let me hide on stream. take this part down here. Give me a second. I'm going to do that. I'm going to kick that one out altogether. Okay. It's just my other camera shut down. It's just us up here now, Jason.
Okay.
That little echo was really bugging me. I can't hear it with this ear, but I could hear it in your ear.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying.
You can move it closer.
Okay. I'd have to take everything down and move my table. And let me get one moment, folks. Ian, can I borrow you for a moment?
I'm saying that you can slowly put stuff away correctly. In small bags. And show everybody how you got it in there.
Okay, hold on, bud. It'll be in a minute. Okay, I'm going to not need you right at the moment. Okay? I've got to put everything back in my bag, and Jason came up with an idea. That's a good idea. Okay.
At the time.
Now, when I was pulling everything out, I'm not going to be putting the extra bee sting kit back in here.
Yeah, forget.
This does not have epinephrine in it. So, remember I was telling you, Jason, when we first started that Ian had a find yesterday on the curb?
Yes.
Well, down the block, there was some stuff on the curb. You see, these are hiking.
Oh, really?
These
not bad.
Are Foxelli's carbon gear hiking poles. These are $50+ hiking poles.
Okay.
I'm
not familiar with poles.
These are from REI.
Oh, okay.
It does not have the mud basket or the snow basket, but it does, or the concrete feet. But it does have the regular feet and stuff like that. But
I'm sure you can order those.
I already know how much it's going to cost me about $20 to get all the ones he needs off of Amazon. But he's going to have to come up with the money because they're his items.
Oh.
Yes, I know that they're made that way. That's for rocks and stuff, bud.
Oh.
They were soaked. He had to pull them completely apart because they are the clip system that just flips open and they slide.
Oh, okay.
But they were completely soaked because it was raining. So he pulled them out, let them dry overnight, then he put them back together. Totally amazing one. They're better than what I've got by a little bit. But I like the ones I've got because mine comes with all the gear and the bag and everything, which I got from Herbert T. Outdoors, which is why I'm not giving those away. But the old ones that I gave Ian initially are now going to Jenny. So gear flows downhill here. So Jenny gets a set of hiking poles she didn't have. Ian's got a brand new set that he likes, and I've got mine. So, and do not discount the well-being of having decent hiking poles when you have to walk a long way. It'll help you immensely. Don't think it's stupid. Don't think it's silly. They work. If they're set for you properly, it'll help you walk easier, longer distances. Yep. Repacking is important. Okay, the stuff that I would put, I'm going to say, this is my waist bag, which is also the bottom bag of my deal, is I'm going to put the front one, I'm going to put my headlamp, which you guys know that you need to know where that's accessed at all times. I do want to put a little Velcro patch on here eventually with what I try to keep in there. My gloves, because I know where those are at. I will be putting in an extra O-light. I do have an extra one of these, which will be fitting in here. Let's see what else I'm going to throw there. I'll throw in one of the bandanas, as well as a simple face mask. And my dad's ferro rod. Just because at least I'll know where it's at. sorry about. I don't have a picture. I'm not putting on my other camera for that purpose. This does not have dual zippers, unfortunately, on this. Just a single zipper, and this is not YKK zippers, but they are fairly sturdy. Now let's see here. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. It's hard to think when I'm trying to be on the live and pack because I usually have time to stop and think what I'm doing because I end up moving things around. But in my main pouch, which is right here, I'm putting my medication. One of my bee sting kits is going on the back side right here on this side. And also along that side, I am also going to put my Silcock key next to that because it'll fit. I'm debating on moving this spork into this pouch because that way if I have to leave my main bag, I'll have this one with this item already in it, which already has a knife, which will go with the ferro rod and things like that. Which it already has a ferro rod with it, but it's always as good as the backup. Probably throw a set of matches in there just because I want to. Heck with it. I'm throwing in my fire kit. Yes, I have more than one fire kit, so I have access to 2 of them, one for my main bag, one for this one. I'll probably be throwing in one of the lighters into the cook set. My dad's ferro rod will not fit in there, but I do have a spare ferro rod in here as a backup one that I have that I acquired a while back, which I can probably put in there, which is this one right here. It's just a simple, cheesy one. I'm not sure if it's a Yuko or what brand it actually is, but it's a simple, probably about 1/4 inch diameter ferro rod. But good idea, CR. Was it? Oh, sorry, Daniel. My apologies. But that's a good idea. I might move one over there. But the only reason I tried not to put a lot of stuff in here metal-wise that'll cause it to rattle as I move. Because last thing you want to do is you want to make sure you keep a noise discipline down to a minimum if you can. Right, Jason?
Yeah. So I just got back.
It will not fit the cook set. It's too big. It's actually wider than the cook set. Here's the cook set. It's wider, so it will not fit. And these, like I just mentioned, will not fit in the kettle at all. They're too big. I wish they did, but they don't. Now, normally the MSR kit would have a cover or a carry bag, which I do not have. It never came with one. I found it as is. I may get one later down the road. Then I could add stuff on the outside of it to help dampen the sound, as well as carry more gear around it. But right now, that's what I got. But I may add a ferro rod in there, and maybe the fuel tabs as well, because I know they will fit in there. But right now, this will fit in here along with my cam suds. And once I get this thing closed up, my main fire kit, my secondary fire kit, which is actually, this is technically my main one. This is my secondary one. This is more of a survival kit than anything else because I've got a wire saw in here. I've got a lighter, things like that. I got fish hooks and all that stuff in here too. The only thing I don't have in here is fishing string, but one of the things I'm going to be adding on is a bow fishing reel, which I'm going to ask you something about that, Jason.
What?
Well, give me a second here. I've got to reach over and stand up and reach over to explain what I'm trying to do. Oh man, knee locked up. What? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to ask you what you think of this. I have to find my reel seat to add to it, but okay. This is my Zepco 808 bow fishing reel.
Yes.
So it's set up with 200-pound test line, which is normally great for bows when you're going bow fishing. But if you don't want to break out your bow and stuff like that, and because you can't really conceal a bow once you got it up and going. Yeah, I understand, CR. Hey,
yeah, you can use it like a fishing line. It just won't go as far.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to go very far, but
Yeah.
with maybe some weights on it, you will be able to cast it out. Normally, like a couple split shots from the kit and stuff like that. And I was going to attach it to a little collapsible fishing rod. Now, is it the ideal thing for this? Is it
for the line one?
But it will work.
Yeah.
Just enough to get it a little further out than you could just by throwing a string into the water from the bank, But I just came up with that today, by the way. I wasn't sure if that would ever work, but I think it would. So
it's better a 10-foot piece of line on a 15-foot piece of bamboo.
But I won't be able to get access to a piece of bamboo. This
like
is
I said,
a fishing rod that collapses small enough to fit in my pack.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, this could probably fit in the bag with my tent poles. So I would have access to an extra way of food. That would be part of my calorie thing. If you want to go with the 10 C's type situation, I mean, I got my containers. I've got my cordage. Well, technically, this could be cordage too in a pinch. I got my way of creating fire. So I'm not. There was a C for that. I can't remember what it was called, but there's that. My cutting tools, things like that. So I've got
with your fishing setup.
Say it again.
Now, with your fishing setup, you will be limited on what you can catch.
Right, because the string.
You're not going to go trout fishing or bass fishing with it.
No. If I figure out a way to do a bobber setup with a worm on a hook, that might work because they will ignore the line and just go for the bait. But I would not be able to do any lure fishing.
It would be like a carp and catfish type rig.
Which we both are perfectly fine to eat.
Yeah.
Now, carp, not my ideal. I have eaten carp before. You got to watch out for the mud line on those. But
remove the mud line.
Huh?
Yeah, make sure you use peanut oil. Except for you. I know.
I'm going to canola oil. I'm thinking about carrying a small bottle of canola in with the cook set for reasons. Just a little bit that goes a long way.
Or lots of lemon powder.
I can't do lemon. Not for me.
Okay, garlic.
Garlic. That's what I was thinking about, Mrs. Dash, and your rub.
You're gonna need a lot of it. You're gonna need a lot of that Mrs. Dash with that carp.
True, but the thing is, in a pinch, it's edible.
Now, what you probably do is soak it in salt water for several hours.
Like I said, I didn't say it was tasty. I said it was edible. Big difference. I will probably have to go through this at a later date to put it properly together because I have the time to do it right now. But right now, I'm just going to, discuss anything else you guys want to. We can open it up to questions. People want to come up and chat with me. You're more than welcome.
Oh yeah, they can come up.
Because I got the link at the top of the chat. You're more than welcome to come up and ask questions. I will explain everything I got. If you have any questions about what you've seen or want me to go back into more detail about something, but feel free. That's all I got. We're open for chat, folks. And thank you for being here for all this. I really appreciate it. My niece, I will have to redirect her to this to have her go through it. And if she has me any questions,
I'll try to do as much as I could.
Yeah, I know you have your reasons. You don't need to say anything there, Jason. Okay, yeah. Your business is your business. Hey, Scott, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Scott.
As I was just saying, if you guys want to come up, the link's at the top of the chat. I got plenty of room up here for you guys. I went through my entire bag, and yes, there's room for things that I'm going to be changing here and there. And there's some things that I've got that are going to be really interesting because I thought about it as I was actually on here. Like the fuel for my hand warmer will definitely work in my transient. Now, I don't know what the burn rate would be for that, but it'd be interesting to find out.
It's called a stopwatch, and try it.
Well, I would probably say this stopwatch on my phone and try it. But yeah. But that, I mean, I do have.
Hey, it's good content.
What was that?
It's good content. You can do that tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah. No, I don't. It's not overdoing it because each one is a different situation. A get home bag is exactly what it says. Get home. While Jason may think he may not need one, he probably has a small EDC type of thing that he carries in his van for in case he can't get home directly. Whether it's he calls it that or not, because he has to deal with both him and Molly if he were both out. If he's at work, that's a different issue. But he's also going to be with his daughter at the time because she works at the same place. So that's going to be remains to be seen. And she might have her own gear. Who knows? Whether she calls people call it different things. It just in case type of situations. Another what people call it. But definitely not overdoing it.
Here in Texas, we call it self-defense.
Okay. If you were a Boy Scout, it's just what's the main motto for Boy Scouts? Be prepared. That's all it is. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, you forgot your towel.
My towel?
Yeah, I should always go with your towel. Always carry a towel.
That's Jenny. It's on Jenny's side, remember?
Oh, okay. You're supposed to each have a towel.
Yeah, Jenny actually went as that character for Halloween one year. Just to let you know.
Hello, Jenny.
Got pictures and everything.
So am I still needed, Dad?
No, you'll be good. But I will let you need, once I get this stuff cleared off, because I am going to have to be able to put my feet up later.
Yes, I will put this back where it belongs.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to have to pack everything in my bag, or at least move it off here where I can put my knees up and I bring my laptop forward, because I can only sit up with my knee bent for so long before it hurts too much. But I do have my ibuprofen here if I need it.
It's amazing what you guys can carry inside of a tote inside of a vehicle.
Jenny's in the other room. Just saying. She's in the bathroom right now, I think. But if anybody knows anything about women's purses, especially I know my Jenny, you'd be surprised what she carries in that thing. She actually has a bag that's called a bag of holding for a reason. It's actually, that's the manufacturer's name of it. It's a bag of holding. It's a Dungeons and Dragons thing. And she carried everything, but she had bottled water in there. She had an extra knife. She had whole kinds of things. That's her everyday carry. And I know that's a joke about women's purses and stuff like that, but it's an EDC. And you could find pretty much anything. Okay, be right there. Give me a second. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, Scott?
We lost Scott. We had him. And we
He's
lost
gone.
him. He was here, and then he's gone. But I'm sure most of the guys. He's coming back. Welcome back.
Hey, howdy, everybody. I was looking at all the buttons. This is a whole different deal than the old StreamYard deal. So I'm like,
it is a little bit. Turn your phone sideways, brother.
Oh, good
There you
grief.
go.
Here, hold on. I got my tripod here because I've been doing my Minnesota recertification. I just got to turn it the other way. And that's skinnier than my iPhone for work because I got a case on this. Oops. I don't know. I might be a little off 90.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Howdy, everyone.
I was just doing a gear dump for my my get home bag. And
Cool.
Well, here's the thing. My niece, I was talking to me about. I told her about my my YouTube channel and stuff, and he goes. I was talking about the get home bags and stuff that I'm building for the challenges I got coming up. And he goes, "What's a get home bag?" And I tried to explain it to her. And for those people who just watched me unload everything I had here, I have an immense amount of gear in that bag. But the thing is, when you see it, it weighs less than 24 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I mean, including a full-blown backpacking tent.
A whole tent, really? Wow.
I'm not sure if you saw that, Scott.
I didn't know. I just got done eating supper. I was watching Extracted.
This is something I picked up when I was working at the D.A.V. Thrift shop in Des Moines last year.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I picked up for $12, just under $12 with my discount and everything, a Big Agnes Copper Spur 2 backpack. This is a $700 tent for less than $12. And it weighs about 3 pounds. 3.5
Heck yeah.
pounds. So, and the thing is, that's nothing. That's not heavy. It's lighter than this. And this is my cook set. This is an MSR cook set.
Oh, okay.
And it's got the pot, it's got a kettle in there, and it's got some other stuff inside the kettle. Got my Trangia in there too. But those two items were the heaviest items I've got. I also have a Z-Packs Super Center Mod tarp that I'm going to try to carry with that as well.
And just let folks know, you don't have to purchase all of these items at the same time. You can purchase one item per paycheck or one big item, expensive item per month.
I actually found, okay, it's going to sound stupid, but a lot of my gear is all secondhand. A lot of it.
Yes, but some people are not going to be able to get that secondhand.
I don't know. I mean, I'm okay. A lot of people call me lucky. I just think the world just aligns that I just find things when I find them.
It must
I don't
be.
know what to call it. So I'm extremely lucky in most people's book because I find them. I find them in the middle where I live, which is really weird.
And I would not totally rely everything on Ozark Trail.
No, I've got some Yuko stuff which I picked up from Walmart. But that's my matches and stuff in my kits and stuff, and fail rod kind of thing. But I've got some stuff I bought brand new, but not much. This kit right here, when I got it, was at a secondhand store in Des Moines called Stuffs, and it actually still had the military. This is a military gift bag from the USO to the troops over in Iraq
Oh, wow.
and Iran. It didn't make it over. This is a surplus. And someone just sold it at a secondhand store. It had the toothpaste, it had all this stuff in it. I have since went through all that stuff and I added my own. So, but it's still, as you can see, I can use it as an EDC, carry it that way with, it's got the molly straps and stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
But it's the only one it's Desert Storm color because it's Desert Storm. I actually like carrying that because it makes it really good for what it is for a hygiene kit. I do have a bidet in there for those people wondering if there's more hygiene stuff in there. For the being able to do sanitation, that's my sanitation kit. I do have a folding shovel in there for that purpose as well. Little spade.
The little check hole.
No, I don't know about that. About being the lucky penny, and the closest thing I could say as lucky penny would be my mother, because her nickname was Shiny Penny.
Well, you'd be the wheat penny.
Probably. Like I said, I can't explain why I find what I find. It's just that I find them, or just the fact that I'm keeping my eyes open and I just, know what to look for. Because just because I find them doesn't mean other people are looking for the same items.
Well,
Now,
Colin,
huh?
you got me. Colin, you got me looking more often than I used to.
Oh, you missed it.
Because you never know.
Okay,
Ian,
Ian,
week to week, things change.
everything changes.
Yep.
Ian just found a set of Fox Sally trekking poles on the curb down the block.
Oh, good grief.
$5 trekking pole or $60 trekking poles.
Oh, JJ's in there.
On the curb. Hey Jay, how you doing? But the thing is, you've got to keep your options open. I look at more than just thrift shops and secondhand stores. I also look at yard sales, and I've got my items I use for my house. I find in those places as well. But curb finds, for those people who have seen the big giant frying pan that was used at the gathering a few years ago,
And
that was a curb find.
Huh.
Someone was throwing it out. They didn't know what they had. So, lucky me. I just happened to know what it was because my aunt had one when I was a kid. Like I said, my items are brand new. I do have some, but they're even the stuff that is brand new, like these Soul fuel tablet deals. I found those secondhand on a shelf at a Goodwill for 25 cents a piece.
See, we got a brand new Goodwill in Vermilion, and I've been stopping there, but I've been there about 3 times. I didn't stop today because I'm not pinched to I'm on the clock type thing with my work truck, right? But
Right.
Anyway,
I mean, I did buy my saw brand new from Dollar General, but it was $5, so I couldn't really beat the price for that.
yep.
And
Black and Decker.
huh?
That Black and Decker.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never heard of a Black and Decker folding saw.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Good stuff.
It worked. I mean, I've not had any issues. It doesn't bind. It cuts both ways. I'm very, very, very happy with that.
Now, if you put it up against the Corona, you'll get rid of that Black and Decker.
It's a good one.
I've never been impressed with my Baco. I got a Baco, and I've never been impressed. I've even wore the paint off a lot of it, but I don't know.
Well,
I'm interested.
I'm not going to go into everything I found, but I mean, I do have my sleeping bag sleep system that I use, which we keep in the trunk of the car because it's the military cold weather sleeping system. $9 at this local Goodwill.
Good grief.
Okay, not the entire thing. It did not have the patrol bag. I did have to buy that for $35 from Walmart of all places. But Walmart sells them, whether you know it or not.
I didn't.
I didn't either until I happened to do some searching and I just found it. So I bought it for $35.
I know. I do know. Once you go searching on their site, you can find more stuff than what's in the store.
Thing is, it's not new. That's the thing. Usually, you don't find stuff like that because it's second.
Yeah.
But it's used items and it really great condition, no issues, no stains, nothing, no tears. and it works. But the only thing, okay, according to the stuff I hear that I have new, not including my medication, which is my
Howdy, CR. I just realized I can see the chat off to the side.
King still is. Goodwill is, and don't forget about the Salvation Army either. Found some good stuff too. But the newest items besides my medication you just saw there, my box knife, $5. That is from Home Depot. My Zipco bow fishing reel, which I just discussed with Jason about using this as an emergency fishing reel. It is a reel. It can be used for fishing, not just for bow fishing. That in conjunction with my telescopic fishing rods, which is this one. Emergency deep river fishing pole for heavy duty fish. If you need to. It's a backup calorie required. I don't trap, so I do bow hunt and I do fish. So those are my two main deals for me. I had ordered a box of MREs recently, and I got gypped in the biggest way.
Oh,
I got an empty box.
What? Oh, for crying out loud!
I got my money back. I got my money back, but
Okay.
I bought a box of MREs online, and it came in empty.
Oh, damn!
But the seller refunded my money, no issues. So I didn't even have to be proven. I just told him I got an empty box, and that was all it took.
The trick with MREs is it's hard to do online because you don't know what you're getting for a date code on them. You know, inspection date.
Actually, you can. If you go to the right seller,
the right sites or whatever. Yeah, they'll be legit. Yeah,
right.
But
a set of those. When you get MREs, if you're going to use them for your get home bag or anything like that, do not keep them in the package they come in. Break them down. And just because you have, here's another thing, okay? Because you have 12 meals going out. Say you're splitting it between two people, like my wife and I. If we're getting home from Des Moines, whatever. The accessory packets can be gone through and gotten rid of. You don't need a spoon for every single meal.
oh yeah, to break them down. Yep.
You don't need salt and pepper for everything. I've got salt and pepper in this container here. I will be picking up something I found on Amazon, 50 packets of Mrs. Dash.
Oh, hey, really?
Packets, little individual packets of Mrs. Dash.
Oh, cool. I didn't know. I haven't found them yet.
That is for me, because I don't do salt a lot, folks. For those people who know me, I don't usually salt my food, but it's got pepper in there. It's got all the spices in there. It works for most food. Yep, field strip it. If it has matches, keep the matches. You can always go use those. But I've got plenty of matches and things like that in ways of starting fires. I've got 2 lighters. I've got plenty of ferro rods, that kind of thing. I got my flint and steel striker. I've got all that.
Do you have fire material to start?
Yes, I got tinder.
Okay.
I told you about it. I've got the jute bundle thing. It looks like coconut husk stuff.
Okay.
And I also have other stuff that would work too. I mean, literally, this stuff here would work too.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I really need to, with my ferro rod, I could add some of my camp fuel if I needed to, because that stuff catches easy.
Woof.
It will go wolf, but the thing is, you have options. Now,
Right now is the time to be finding the dead. Was that stinging nettle too? That stuff's awesome.
yep, the little fuzzy stuff from there. Also, just to let you know, Scott, if you didn't know, Zippo fuel is now back at Walmart for $1.97 for a canister like this.
All right.
Ian picked up 3 of these. He owed me a can. That's why I've got it. It's much better than the Rossingale stuff. I got it for my my hand warmer.
Oh,
But I just realized this stuff will work in my Transia.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
So I have 99% alcohol, which you already have one. I gave you one. I have my bottle of denatured alcohol, which is like probably about 20 ounces or more. So I have quite a bit of fuel that I could use for my Transia. And as I said, my little, I just brain freezed on my little folding stove. Dang it. Yeah, well, whatever it is. That one, I don't like the fuel that comes with it. But, yeah. Cool. Glad to hear it there, Daniel. Now, most get-home bags, most people don't think about is their feet. Because if you're walking, you worry about your feet. There's one item that I'll be wearing that it's not here right now. And I have ibuprofen and stuff like that. That's a good thing to have. Aspirin, whatever. I've got 800 milligram ibuprofen. But I also have foot balm. Also having some kind of petroleum jelly, not just for fire starting, but for chafing.
Oh, shoot.
Because people think, it's all fighter. Baby powder to a point on the baby powder, because once you get sweaty, baby powder starts to cake, and that can cause issues separate from that.
Yeah.
Also,
I got this little baby bottle of what the heck? Gold Bond foot powder.
Just for your feet. Don't use it for chafing.
Just in case. Yep. I don't like it. I used to use it years ago, but yeah, it just like caked up my boots and my foot pads and my boots. I don't like it.
Because you start sweating and it just starts caking your feet.
Yep.
So
that's why anybody in the Midwest, check your Weather Channel now. See if you've gone red.
Me?
I'm pretty good here.
I haven't received any notifications. Usually it pops up.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you're going to get notified.
No, I'm 45 and cloudy. So I'm good.
You're still in the blue, right?
Yeah.
Blue banner?
Yep.
Okay.
But the thing is, having decent footwear, whether it's tennis shoes or hiking boots, decent socks. Having socks that are wore out will hurt you just as bad as not having any at all. Proper fitting shoes. I found out something yesterday that I did not know. Other than I found out I'm down to 254 with my weight loss. Oh, got another one in. Daniel's here. Hey, Daniel.
What's up,
Hello,
guys?
Daniel.
Keeping your proper. I'm down a width on my shoes.
Yeah,
I was a 6E. Now I'm down to a 4E.
Oh, shoot. Never thought of nothing like that.
I didn't know that it could happen, but Jenny told me, and so did her boss. With that much weight, I lost 60 pounds.
On that whole storm thing, it looks like all of you guys, well, anybody in that area.
I will worry about it when it gets here.
Yeah, no.
Plans in place.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, when I lost the weight, I lost a foot size on my boots, and which means I need to get different size boots. But I'm gonna stick with the ones I've got because they fit me when I was heavier, and they're broken in. So I'm not.
Yeah.
But I do need to get new sandals, though. That's something else.
I had a chiropractor once test me in my work boots. I put my hands out like this here, and he pushed down. I had them like down like just like hip level or whatever. He pushed down, and he could tell is if I tip forward, they're not the right size. They need to be a size bigger.
Yeah, Jenny works at a shoe store, as you know.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Measure my feet, and
specialized shoe store, not just any shoe store.
She's for orthopedic shoes and stuff like that. So
sweet.
I get all my boots from her. I just found out that the sandals that I wanted to replace the ones I have, they no longer sell for men, just for women, which really sucks.
That's a joke.
Molly.
Night, Molly. Thank you for coming.
Night, Molly.
Can't say you're eating now,
Uh-oh.
Sierra, without telling us what you're having. And if it's bacon, you got to share.
I just got finished before I come on.
Oh, crap. Give me a second here. Now I got to put my O-light back around my neck. And before people wondering why I have it, when I was really sore and I couldn't walk very well, I sleep in this chair because I had to have my feet elevated high enough. And I didn't want to turn the light on. I just clicked the O-light. It illuminates where I'm walking, where I don't step and trip over anything. So
Oh, heck yeah.
it's an emergency light for me, for safety.
That's the wrong one.
What with fresh green onions? He didn't specify what.
The salad.
He didn't. No, he didn't say that. All he said was fresh green onions.
What the heck? I think Tyler Wood just popped up. Tyler somebody.
Hey, Tyler, what's happening?
Tyler, how you doing, brother?
No, I think he popped up with a video just come out.
Oh,
Tyler somebody anyway, just my notification deal.
give me a second.
I ain't seen him forever.
Let me try something here.
Oh, we just talked to him Saturday night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
still
he
dealing with
was
this fire deal. Had the guy, what the hell, the adjuster came out Tuesday to look at it, and then I had, supposedly Monday or today, one of the contractors come out and take a look, see what it's going to cost to fix everything after the fire.
Ugh.
Give me a second. I'm trying to do something, folks. Give me a second.
Jason, where are you at?
Me?
There we go.
Yeah.
Down the road from home.
No, man. I like.
He's in Southeast.
Give me a
Oh, I'm
roundabout.
in Southeast Texas.
A roundabout town. Like.
No,
my
we can't
dad-
do that. We don't talk
No.
about that. Not for him. He doesn't do that.
I'm near Sam Rayburn Lake.
Okay. I'll see.
That's
if
why I
my,
give my general town, but I won't give you my address.
No. That's cool.
Those of us who knew, like Scott knows where I live, and Jason
Yeah,
knows
no,
where I live.
like no.
And so
My
does
dad passed away
Jeff.
with a whole bunch
others.
of construction contractors and stuff like that, and I have people I can ask questions to help people, and I'm willing to do that. I need a roundabout area.
Yes, Sierra, I did. Very
He
lucky.
could tell you in the private chat, but not in the open chat.
Yeah. No. I get it. I just needed a basic.
Okay. That's why I said Southeast Texas. Ballpark it. We'll go from there. But now I've seen some really good gear from Scott. His Fire Up Fridays and whatever it is, or his Ferro Rod Fridays or whatever he calls it. Those are pretty cool. I haven't seen one lately, by the way, brother, but I've been looking.
I know. I haven't done anything, and then after the daggone fire, I just kind of like a little leery of fires.
Oh, well, at least you didn't start it
PTSD.
yourself. I mean,
I tell you what. The first time a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago, that was bad enough. But when I come home and my house is on fire,
he'll go into it separately on his own channel about what happened.
There's no way. Yeah.
oh,
I think
freaked me
we'll do a
out.
full on what happened type situation in case anybody has questions.
Yeah, that
That's
just
not, that's not me for me to discuss on mine.
no. I'm just saying that's what I'm not.
I know because you talked to me about it, but that's
I'm
beside.
going down to Texas here next week, see my sister for about 4 days, and probably won't do no fired up right down there either with the way things are going down there. It sounds like, but
They might have a fire. I think they have a fire band going on.
yeah, I'm still taking a striker. I'm still looking for rocks.
I'm going to leave for a few minutes until that gets taken care of.
Okay,
All right.
he's got things he's got to take care of. He's got that. He's in his own place for his own reasons. So I'm not. It's not up to for me to
Hey,
decide.
Colin, give them my information.
Okay, in the private chat, you can talk about it.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
Okay, so Daniel, did you have any other questions about what I've got here or anything like that?
No, it was like the transient thing. I just like ADHD.
There
like,
are
I,
some things that look like transias or act like them, like a chafing
Yeah.
dish. You've probably heard of chafing dishes before.
Yeah. No, like,
They're
but
similar
I've
to
seen
chafing
some-
dishes, but not the
I've
same.
seen a
Chafing
lo-
dishes do have sponges or wire,
like a mesh in them.
steel wool, like steel wool.
Yeah.
But transias or the versions like I got,
Sorry.
they're completely just straight alcohol. They're empty. There's nothing in them. As you can see at the bottom, it is a double walled allows for the vapors to go through the ports and create the jets and stuff like that. But these things are extremely light. The fuel is, as long as you can use a lot of different styles of fuels, even some alcohol like Everclear. That's on the high end. You really want to expensively use that, but it will work.
I took a hunting course in.
But that's why I like using the 99% rubbing alcohol. You can use 91%, but I don't like. But I would not recommend 75.
Yeah, I took a hunting course back in the 89, I think, and the guy showed us to use an Altoids can with 99% alcohol.
Yep. I do have an Altoids 10. It's in that other. It's in. I think I got one in this kit right here, and my other kit, which is in.
It's really good for. Lord have mercy.
If you got some kind of pot stand, yeah, I've seen that too. Like, to figure out what you can put in there for. I got a video out. I just got a little cans I picked up from Amazon, and I got steel wool, like quadruple zero steel wool, and copper screen over it, and that's what I've been using. And I boiled water, and I forget what it was.
People use cat food tins. I've seen people make their own penny stoves using a couple monster cans.
Yeah,
and you can make there's different versions of the same thing.
The penny stoves, I'm not been really impressed with. I
like the Trangia style because it works, but it's efficient.
They work, right? They work. Yep.
And
I got a Red Camp version, and I got a Pathfinder version.
And this one here is just a knockoff Temu version.
Oh, yep.
What is the reasoning for some
I
of
gave
them
my
having the foam?
one to Dan Herbert T because he didn't have one, and it's a lot heavier. I went for the lighter one for a reason because it does everything I needed to do. And Sterno, that's what I was trying to remember. This is a Sterno flat pack stove.
Yep.
You can use Sterno. I don't like solid fuel stoves like Sterno because you cannot boil with Sterno. People don't realize you cannot boil water. You can't do anything like that. You can't cook.
It just keeps it hot.
It does not get hot enough. That's one thing about the flat pack stove, though. Like I said, it can be used as a twig stove in a pinch, which is really, really nice because it is tin, not aluminum.
Yeah.
Now you could, it won't be. It's not really efficient in that way, but it can be used that way. So that's a backup. So I got multiple methods for cooking and boiling water. So that's a water purification thing. And the Sawyer Mini, good choice. I've got more than one water filter, but this is just the one I carry with this bag. This is lighter than the other one I have, which is a Katadin Hiker pump. It's a pump, and it got a really decent flow rate. But the filters to replace them are very expensive at $45 a piece.
Ooh.
Price, and this was like $25 for the whole kit. So there's no knocking that price.
How long does the filter work?
I just heard back from a Hydro Blue today. I over the weekend I made a comment to him that, doggone it, I'm supposed to be a ambassador of your product. I haven't heard boo back from you guys about my videos. And so I just quit. What's the scoop? And I heard back from him today. And he says, I remember seeing your video that it was on there, but it got took down when we changed videos. We'll get it back on there. So I sent it back because, okay, thank you. Where do I send the next videos to? Because I'm going to keep on going and make some more videos.
That's good. I'm not an ambassador of anybody. I don't got any, sponsorship deals. I wish I did, but I don't. Because me, I'd have the archery stuff down pat. I'd love that. But
right.
But right now, a lot of my gear is like backpacking oriented, but you would be surprised how much that would be for a get home bag, EDC type stuff. And it is geared to be light. And that's the one thing I like about it. The fact that I found a lot of mine firsthand is not normal. I can't claim it to be normal. Anybody who knows me, I mean, Scott, you've been with me, you know, my finds.
Uh huh.
My boy's the same way.
Hey guys, I'm gonna hop down for a bit.
Okay, I
haven't been
understand
able to
why.
be mobile
You just
in
get better.
4.5
Okay?
hours.
I hope you feel
Yeah, I
better.
just haven't been able to be mobile in 4.5 hours. So.
You got to get you to walk.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go and walk.
Okay, get some water in you. Get some. Use the restroom. Whatever you got to do.
Oh, I'm on my 3rd liter.
If you have to go to the restroom, you probably rather go use a restroom than sit in it.
Good Lord.
Where he's
See
at
you,
right
Jason.
now. It's up to him to let people know what's
Yeah.
going on. It's
Put
not
it
my
this way:
thing.
I'm cooped up in
He's
a
okay.
room at the hospital right now, fighting in a bacterium infection.
Oh shoot.
Oh
Dang.
yeah.
He's in
Holy
good hands.
crap.
He's in good hands.
Oh yeah.
So you don't have to worry about
All
it,
right.
Phil.
Well,
He's in good hands.
Sorry to hear about that, brother.
take care then,
Yeah.
man.
No.
I
You
had no
told
idea.
me
Being cooped up.
Jason, okay? You're
Oh
welcome
yeah.
back
I'm
up
just
here.
gonna be
You
cooped
can
up.
drop down if you want to, or you can come back anytime you want. Okay?
I'm gonna take a good walk outside.
Get some fresh air.
Oh yeah.
Good. Love you,
Alrighty.
brother. I hope you feel better soon.
Yep. Later, guys.
Take care.
Now,
Man, I didn't know that.
yeah, like I said, it's not my place to say,
Either
Yeah,
did I.
I know.
and I try not to talk about other people's things because that's their things.
Yep,
Um,
I get it.
My gear, I mean, like I said, I don't buy a lot of stuff brand new if I don't have to. I try to find alternative versions because the everyday person can't afford a $700 tent.
Good God, no.
The fact that I got
But
one,
how do you find the cool stuff you do? You know?
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Ah,
But I'm not going to try to jinx it either. But I just happen to be at the right place at the right time. The stars align for me, or whatever.
I did. I can't lie. I did. For crying out loud, probably 5 to 8, 10 years ago. I don't know what it was. And they probably 5 to 8 somewhere in there. Them the mesh military type like bivouac type things. You zip open on either side and you climb in it. And it's just a mesh thing. Well, you can throw a tarp over it like a hammock type camping thing and keep you covered. I got 2 of them.
One thing for me, Scott, if you could, if anybody who could read the chat, I can barely see it from where I'm sitting because I got a table between me and my laptop, which is about 4 feet away from me, and I've got my bifocals. That's the extent of my bifocal range.
CR says, "Okay,
Literally.
Jason, that was 855, and then little alone 700 gear for a pack."
Actually, the pack I have that I carry, I bought brand new, and I got it off the TikTok shop for like $40, 29 to 30, 40 bucks.
Is that what you got? One of them TikTok ones, really?
Yeah, I found it on Amazon too. I will be, like I mentioned to Jason earlier, you weren't here for that. I am going to try to list all the items I have. Now, you probably will not find them for the price I found them for. Excuse me.
Right, because Colan's Colin.
My voice is starting to go, but I will. That way, you'll know what if I bought them new, you will know where I got them. Some things are new, like my battery pack. You can't buy those secondhand. I'm sorry. This is an Anchor 20,000 milliamp battery pack. The one thing here that is my steadiest long-term item that I've had is my Nalgene bottle. I got this one at Shields, brand new. Bought the cover for it the same day. Okay, you guys can probably see how beat up that lid is, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
dirty. It's scuffed. It's got cuts in it. But the bottle itself looks brand new.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
These covers help, folks. If you have to use this as a heat source for a hot water bottle in the cold, this Well, I mean, yes, you can probably do it just straight in the bottle like this, but
without the
generally you have to
insulation,
wrap it
it
up in a
doesn't
sock
last
or
long.
something like that to keep it from
I've
burning.
I've had cheap plastic ones like that, the cheap ones, and you drop them in the parking lot, they're done.
Well, this actually protects it from being dropped. I've dropped this thing so many times.
Yeah, well, that's having that cover. Yeah, yep.
It just doesn't have the little loop on it like this one does anymore.
Yeah.
But by the way, this one's glow in the dark for people who don't know.
Oh, cool.
And I started my bug out bag this past weekend.
Well, it's going to take you some time, Daniel.
Oh yeah, no.
Because also your bug out bag or your get home bag or whatever, it'll never be complete.
No, it's the
No,
Yeah, I know. It's the challenge
it changes
bag.
by the season. It changes by where you're going.
By what you learn, by what you think
I'm
about.
doing the challenge.
Yeah.
The bug out bag challenge.
Oh, my bug out! Oh, I'm doing that bug out bag challenge at the flea market, which I wanted Scott to go to, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make it.
Right, CR. It's always my mind is like, yeah. It's
and the thing is, with my
I'm the same way. I get ADHD
that changes.
Really bad.
It helps me change how I'm carrying it and everything else. I do have several redundancies and backups and backups because I have more than one fire kit. So
see,
one in my bag and one in my fanny pack stuff.
I think that's my problem. I overthink things.
Well, this right here can be carried on the outside of my pack because it does have the straps.
Yeah.
This can be carried outside my pack, which would both those items right there will open up room in my pack for other items.
The one thing I noticed that not bug out bags, not a lot of bug out bags have is a small hatchet. I
do have a hatchet, but I don't I don't need to carry it. Right now with this,
I get what you're saying
for the stuff I have.
If it's
now,
long term,
my actual bug out bag, I do have a hatchet.
Okay, yeah, I've looked at a lot of channels, and not a lot of them have a small hatchet. I'm like,
well, okay. Daniel, in my thinking of it, I think a lot of it is if you got a good solid, full tang knife, solid tang, long enough full tang knife.
Yeah,
you're good. You're good.
Your own wood.
You're good to do some, batoning. You're good to do some walking.
This here is definitely made for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can see it, Colin. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. And if you got a little, somewhat of a saw, to saw some stuff to help, make things a little easier on your body. Like a Swiss Army knife saw, like a Ranger knife, whatever. I don't know, whatever. Just saying.
I got saw on my Gerber suspension.
Yeah, no, I have a small saw, but I make all my knives to batten wood.
Well, I also have a wire.
There you go. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Which I don't trust with an inch of my life. I don't trust wire saws. You will not find any traps in here, though, folks. Even my bug out, I don't carry traps.
No, and I understand that. And
not because I don't know how. Just that to me, it's not as efficient as what I know.
It's inhumane in a way.
No, it's not.
I carry snare wire because I'm all about easy catching. Colin, we get together and do some fishing sometime. We got the right spot. I'll shoot some survival fishing.
Well, we got to go bow fishing.
Hey, Colin, he reminds me of my uncle.
I'm ready to go bow fishing, brother.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. I got the big one, the bottle reel right up here. And I've got my new 808 Zepco right here. So I can use any of my bows with this reel right here. So I'm up for it now. I just need to get some more arrows, bow fishing arrows, so I can have enough for all my bows, not just one. Someone, like I said, someone's got to keep an eye on the chat because I can't barely read it.
Finally got audio back.
Tuck Beaver one. Tuck by
internet. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like wonky. Okay. I thought it said Wookiee there at first.
I don't know who Tuck My V1 is.
Now that's Took.
Took. Okay.
Yeah, he's cool. He's in here. He's been here quite regularly.
And I'll straight up tell everybody in here I can't read and write for shit. Sorry for cussing.
What CR say?
Smiley
Scott,
face.
read this, laugh out
No,
loud.
it says Scott, read this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's
Say that out.
It just popped up.
Okay. Now, I mean, gear, like I said, it's ever evolving, and budget is always going to be a first priority because you don't know what you're going to do. You have Daniel has an option that we don't, CR, as well as you, Scott, him being a knife maker. I know you can do it, Scott, but he does it on the regular as a
Who does?
Scott,
I do.
Daniel. He's a
Daniel,
blade maker.
really?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you go. Oh man, you gotta get to my email.
Before
gotta
you
talk-
leave
we gotta
tonight, you
talk.
will have his name, his number, everything you need to know. Trust me. You're going to be very popular, Daniel.
Thank you. My
Not a
wife,
problem.
like the other part of me is my wife makes spices.
Makes what?
Spices.
Spices.
She grows her own spices.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yep, that's another part of it. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, I'm going to be getting a knife, neck knife from him because that's one thing I don't own it myself is a neck knife of any kind.
It's 9 grams.
That's not bad.
9 grams, and it'll cut through a phone book.
I don't need it to go through a phone book. I just need it to be, something that doesn't, it's in a decent sheath that it doesn't cut me if I lean over.
No. It's a sheath prop. That's the problem with the sheath is if you push down, I'm not sure if it's going to push through the leather yet. So it's like test and develop. Like it's done. Randy's
don't send
done.
it, I mean, like I said, don't send it to me until you know it's 100% safe.
Yeah, I know, but by Monday it should be there. Like
Okay.
like Matt and Randy the other day, like I was on there. Why doesn't
Did you
Randy
get my
have ink
address,
yet?
Daniel?
No, I was gonna ask on Facebook today. Like
Okay.
after this.
I will.
Yeah, I'm
get
not.
it to you.
Yeah, no. And then same thing with your son. It's his birthday. Whatever he wants, I'll make it.
Yeah, today's Ian's birthday, Scott.
So happy birthday, Ian.
I sent a message on Facebook.
Yeah, he turned 19 today.
Uh,
I'm gonna buy a one of the bracelets from Cliff from him for his birthday. So, oh crap!
Daniel, I tried touching you. You're trying to like figure out to try and get a hold of you, but I can't. Touching it don't
You
work.
can just call me,
Okay.
dude. We've called each other back and forth easily.
Yeah. I should. Good God, it's after 9. I should get out of here anyway.
But I will talk to you tomorrow if you're free.
Yeah, in the afternoon sometime, late afternoon.
About 4?
I got to run. New month. I'm starting to run. Today was kind of a screw around day because my first 2 I got is only an hour and a half away, so I do them and then kind of piddle around on the way back.
Before 5 o'clock. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that should work.
Okay, I can do that. No, I'll call you then.
Okay.
But the thing is, this gear, like I don't know how I find it. I just do. But you incorporate it as you find it. I mean, if you know what you need,
Well, that's
always improve your gear.
You look at some of the stuff I found. I found some pretty unique. That little tiny little aluminum coffee pot, and then that little tiny like enamel percolator back a year or so ago. Once in a while, I find a gem.
The gems are the things that you don't look for. They just sort of pop up.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, the first major item you see, all the gear you see here, the oldest item I have is my mess kit. That's an MSR kit. And it came with the kettle, it came with the pot and stuff like that. Only thing it didn't have a cover, obviously. But $7 at a secondhand store.
Oh.
Someone was selling it, they didn't know what they had. That's the biggest thing. They didn't know what they had.
Like I'm not talking like pack wise. Like I found
packs you can't go secondhand too much.
Hot tent
you can, but
for super
rarely.
cheap.
My first actual everyday carry bag I carried was a Alice pack, small Alice pack, which I picked up for $7, so $15 at a Hy-Vee of all places in a bargain bin.
Hy-Vee?
In the middle of the frozen food aisle, there was a bin of stuff in the middle of the aisle, and this was in it.
For
$15.
crying out loud. That's crazy.
I still got it. I just don't use it right now. I've now got a medium, upgraded version, which I picked up last year, and I use that one for my bushcraft bag. So I do have a bushcraft bag, which is not a part of any of this other stuff that I have. I got a tent attached. I got a whole bunch of other stuff attached to that, but it's very different from all this. But that will be a different day, which I'll definitely need your help, Scott, because you know a lot of the bushcraft stuff as much as I do, probably more, especially the fire starting stuff, because I don't do bow drill at all. Yes, everybody who knows me, that is my bane.
We gotta get together and work on that. Doggone it.
No, I actually have an actual thought out reason for it, because it's a calorie burn.
Have you ever done a plow drill?
And I'm a firm believer in conserving calories, not wasting them. I mean, you're not a guaranteed fire with a bow drill.
On all my videos with the flint and steel, the solar, the blah, 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 I've had so many people, so many naysayers. Oh, I'm Army Ranger, I'm this and that. You know, a Bic's the first thing you go to.
And Army, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yes, a Bic would be my first go-to. But if you don't have the skills to do any of the rest.
I've got 2 of these little mini Bics, which I carry with me for a reason. Those are my, those will be my go-to first thing. Always. It's sure.
I served in a different way from military, and we would have competitions.
Military contractor type person. CR. He was like a civilian version of you, Daniel.
Yes.
Scott was a security.
Yeah, I was. Okay. So he knows.
He was the military version of you.
Okay, so we were super highly talked down to, and it was like, okay, let's play games. Can you start a fire with this, and throw a rock and a piece of steel out there? And they're like, how do you do that?
Oh, I can have it done in like about 45 seconds.
Yeah, I know. But this is modern military. Like not now. This is. Yeah, I don't 10 plus years ago.
A bow drill is way down it,
and I'm like,
oh, fires are the hardest.
Yeah, like, okay, can you do it with this? Can you do it with a plow? What's a plow? I'm like, okay, y'all like really didn't pay attention to any of your
CR.
survival.
You mentioned you found a knife sharpener in the parking lot. What type of knife sharpener did you find? I'm sorry, I can barely read this, folks. I'm just trying. I mean, this is really small. I'm not ignoring the chat. I just can't I can't read it.
Don't ever use the V sharpeners on any knives.
Oh, I that I would consider you more of an expert than Scott and myself.
Yeah, don't ever like those plastic handled ones with they have random different materials inside of them. Like you can switch both sides. Don't ever use one of those. Buy a small sharpening stone.
The ones with the little steel thing like that in them?
Yeah, don't ever use those.
Yeah. No. I say the same thing.
Tuck, thank you.
A stone is the only way to go.
Yeah,
a stone or steel.
Yeah.
If people want to use all
one
caps
single
like
steel,
that, I greatly appreciate it. That way I can read them.
Yeah. Here's not a lot of people know, like there's honing stones for axes.
Yep.
It's a fine
and stuff like that.
No, there's a fine side and there's a coarse side. That's the best thing for you to like, if you want to carry it with you. I think it's like, it doesn't weigh very much, but it's
they're like $6 to $8.
Yeah,
okay.
But you can,
there's a difference between a whetstone and an oil stone too. Most people don't know that as well.
Well, it depends on what you make it.
Yeah, like
Well, I mean,
a
my
knife,
dad,
a
If
knife
you
and
use
an
oil,
axe.
if you
A
use
knife
oil,
and
you
an
gotta
axe,
use
you
oil.
never want to use oil.
my dad had a stone that was made just strictly for oil. It was made back in the 30s. It was my grandpa's.
Like oil to like what I learned. Oil is like super coarse, and it's more for like you want to like completely beat the bejesus out of whatever you have. Like it almost be like a sword sharpening thing, not a knife or axe. Like,
Oh, they used it for machetes
yep, that's okay. That's it's more coarse,
because they were using
but
it for actual tools, gardening tools, stuff like
yeah, not
sickles and things like that,
yeah.
and farm
It's
equipment.
not it's not fine tuned things. Like a lot of people would rather have a like what they call a split axe. It has like it's a V.
Right.
I make what they call a single edge axe. So you can make it to like it's more of a tool than just being an axe. Like you can flatten wood out to be planks.
Oh, nice.
That's
Uh,
cool.
you know what I mean? Like it's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna split wood. No, like I can
It, it's a,
set it in.
it's a thinner wedge, so you can like just finally split stuff or shave stuff off. Then
Yeah, like when you
I get it.
when you have a wedge and you cut a branch off a tree, that nub stays there. Like
yep.
the little bit of that nub, like this will go straight through the nub and make it flat.
Okay. So like perfect for like bow drill planks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, I do actually have a bow drill tip that I actually heard from Creek Stewart, of all people.
Really?
Did you know if you actually have this made in advance, the bow drill set, if you char your board ahead of schedule, it'll help you get your fire started
What? Really?
because of the charred wood would be
Yeah.
susceptible to the catching of an ember. I never considered that, but I don't see why it wouldn't work.
In like my thing with you as a bow hunter, and like that's your big thing. Like you can utilize a different string on your bow.
Oh no, I someone actually suggested that, but I would not want to damage my bows because my bows get broken, then I can't use it for what I need it for.
Yeah, no, but that was like traditional Indian way was that's what they would do.
Oh yeah,
Like
but my
that's what
bows
I'm.
are not traditional.
I never thought
Yeah,
about that, but that's definitely. I mean,
Now I would probably, if you actually have a bow saw, it's already set up for that particular bend. Just take
yeah,
the saw blade off, put a string on it, then use that. If
yeah.
you have a
No,
bow
like
saw,
that's like, but that's like old Indian culture. That's what it was like. How it started. Well, no, it was before them, but the Indians decided to use. Oh, I'm going to use my hunting bow to make fires because the bow was already made.
huh,
I
never even thought about
I'm a little
that. I
worried about
bet.
hurting my bow because without the bow, that means that's no food. That's my way
Yeah,
of acquiring food. Because if
But
it doesn't take much to crack a limb or twist a limb the wrong way.
no,
oh
but I
no,
mean, I get where he's coming from, Colin. Think about it. Back in the day, they're making bows and the strings left and right just as they need to be, and so I need a fire. And once you get a fire going, you're staying there for how long? Just keep it going. It's a one-time deal for the most part.
Right. I'm slowly packing up because I need to get this table out from beneath me before I can sit back. So
No, I
and
should
like
take my
and like
plate
with,
up and get to bed too.
and like with me and like everything, I learned everything history wise, like building
Yeah.
knives and axes and all that stuff. Like metallurgically, or however you say that word, was a part of me when like it became a part where people couldn't make knives fast enough, and they were forged with brass as a compound in a knife just to hold it together.
Really?
Yes.
I did. Funny talking about this. I was watching. How was it? Sunday. I was watching. Oh, good grief!
That fucking TV show. Sorry,
Daniel
sorry for
Daniel
cussing.
Daniel Boone, and
Love
some of
Daniel
these
Boone.
some of these crude knives. Like, think about how crude that damn knife is. You know, that thing can't be that doggone sharp. But it
Or
was
Jim Bowie, you ever seen the TV show Jim Bowie about the actual guy about what the knife was made for?
No, I haven't.
They do have a series back in the day, same time period as
What I'm talking about, like they used brass to like hold stuff together, and like brass was supposed to be the guard for you not cutting your hand, and then
Yep.
they figured out that it would hold the metals together.
Huh.
Like it's like, yeah, like I didn't go back to like the Japanese era where they used all that stuff. I kind of understand it, but it doesn't make any, like how it works doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like back in the day, the railroad spike knife was basically the sharpest thing you ever got.
Well, I do have a knife that was from the 1960s that were very similar to that. That's that trade knife I showed you guys.
Yeah.
And that thing cost me about $4 or $5.
Yeah.
I did not find that one. Ian did. He wasn't old enough to purchase it. So I bought it for myself because I can't.
And here's the thing, like, society has killed and destroyed the Jim Bowie knife, point blank. Like, there is no original drawing of the Bowie knife.
That's what's sad, because I would like to know. And the other thing that's sad is I've got a you shouldn't say it, but I've got a Forged and Fire winner right here in my town making a knife for this company, Dakota, whatever. They make these canvas bags, and he's making a knife for them, calling it a Kephart. He's calling it a Kephart knife. That is not a Kephart knife, and I've disagreed with him to the T. It's a Nessmuck knife. It's got the buffalo hump. It's a Nessmuck knife. And this guy, tell you what, he makes awesome shit. I mean, he's phenomenal. I mean, God, he's went from being a Snap-on dealer to making knives and making buku bucks. But, dude, you're even in the reenactment stuff going up to the, for crying out loud.
Night shows and all that shit.
What took say? I can't read it. Sorry. Almost there, folks. I'm almost to where I can take my table down.
I like the Mexican.
He goes to the Hugh Glass reenactment and stuff.
Okay, someone else tell me what he said. I can't read it.
He goes to Hugh Glass reenactment stuff and whatnot in Lemon, South Dakota. So I know he should know his stuff. But he made this thing calling it a Nessmuck. It's not.
Okay.
Calling it a Kephart, and it's not. It's more of a shape of a Nessmuck. And I've argued with this company, and it's like, I'm not paying that for something that's not what it is. Sorry.
Misrepresentation.
Yep. I mean, come on. You're a knife maker. Get your stuff straight,
Okay. Please forgive me.
What is he asking for his knife?
Adjusting the tables and stuff.
$185, I think.
Holy shit. Yeah.
I mean, they are nice. Buffalo skin sheath. I mean, they are nice. I mean, I'm not denying that. But
to
me, as whatever I am, I'm nobody. But I know the difference between Nessmuck and Kephart. Okay.
You're a scholar, Scott.
And I know the
You
difference
know the
between a camp, and I know the difference between a camp knife and a bowie.
Yeah. Right.
I
Yep.
know the difference between a camp knife and a kukri.
Yep. See, I mean, kukri is a whole different ball game too. You know.
But there's people that make camp knives that look like kukris.
Yeah.
Sorry for showing you my butt. That's the way it is right now.
I 100% try to do it the traditional way. The traditional
Well,
book.
and that's so when I got the disagreement from them on their email, I started looking. It's like, well, by God, you know what? This is all I see for cap art. They're all straight standard, like straight blade. There was, and then so the nest mucks that's got the little buffalo hump. It's more of a kind of a Skinner type, camp knife, Skinner type camp knife. The nest muck,
Yeah,
but
it was more versatile than the first one. Like I get knives change. Trust me,
yeah,
I get knives change.
They
Like I get,
adapt, they evolve, that kind of thing.
yeah.
but you like me, 100%. I can never make every single knife the same way.
Sorry about
Oh,
that, guys.
not if you're hand doing them. No, there's no way.
No, yeah,
No, I totally get that.
but my own versions of knives are mine.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like
Okay,
like
folks,
Colin,
I can actually read the chat now. So
Oh,
it's like Colin, it's like Colin's neck knife. Him and I had a conversation. I was like, hey, there's not much handle, and like we had a conversation, and then like it popped in my brain. I drew it, and now I'm working on it, and it's gonna be like, yeah, it should be. Colin knows more of my story, and I don't really want to talk about it right here now.
yeah, that's on. If you decide to go, you do your own live someday.
Yeah,
And you can describe it there. But that's not my. This is not the platform for
yeah.
that. Right now.
It should be ready to be mailed Monday.
Like I said, I'll give you my address and stuff later.
Yeah, but no, like that's me. Like I'm more I want to know the person and make a knife for them.
yeah.
Not,
Yep.
I don't want to make a 16, I don't want to make a Crocodile Dundee knife for someone that only needs a 3.5-inch blade with a full handle that only does certain things with it.
Oh, I just need
Right.
a neck knife is mainly for small tasks. That's all.
Yeah, no, but like everybody asks me, like I go out and I have a couple T-shirts and like the thing is like, oh, can you make me a sword? No, I don't want to make you a sword. There's no reason for that.
I'm not into making swords. That just seems like a pain in the butt. I don't.
I actually asked him about something that I was planning on doing. Later this year.
That's the conversation. That's a personal thing. That's not.
It's not a sword, though. Every day. Not a sword. Neither one of them are swords. It's just.
I know.
It's just the fact is, it's basically something I'm doing as a cosplay for a book character that I was told I represent immensely, and the fact is, why not? Yeah, that's the only thing I can't find anywhere online.
And do you guys know history? You know the toothpick. Oh,
sorry, I'm going to answer Took. Hold on, Daniel.
Arkansas toothpick.
Took. I found so much stuff on thrift stores. That kit I found at a second-hand thrift store in Des Moines called Collectomania. 90% of my gear are secondhand from thrift stores. So don't discount them. Just because you don't find one the day you go in does not mean they won't show up. Be persistent. That's the big thing. Consistency is the key. If you know when new stuff comes in, go those days. If you can go early, awesome. If you can't, I understand.
I need to ask mine.
Now, Daniel, he has an outdoor thrift mart thing going on.
Flea market
that he used to go to. It's a permanent one too, which is different than what I go to. So he might find different items. depending on the day, depending on the hour, depending on when you get there, obviously. It's all a matter of timing. My timing, I just happen to line up a lot for some reason. But be persistent, keep
That's
your
really
eyes
good.
open, and think outside the box.
Oh,
Because Ian found stuff in the trash that should have been sold,
live.
but he found it. It was a Boy Scout hammock stuff. He found a Boy Scout
Oh wow.
canteen. It had a Boy Scout canteen and mess kit with it.
Alex on a quart, and then I made us a quart.
And also, don't discount the bin stores for those people who go to Amazon returns. You can find some really cool stuff there. I found some Fresnel lenses there that are really good as well.
I still gotta get to mine. I've never been over there. Just
It
down
just-
to one vehicle, and she's always working all the time. Just never been there on the weekends.
Whenever you do, just keep your eyes open. But you already know how I do it. I mean, I look at everything. I take my time and do. I mean, another trick that I do that actually really helps. If you go through a place, you say, "Oh, I didn't see anything." Reverse your route. Go back.
Oh,
Take it from a different perspective, and you'd be surprised the stuff you missed, not realizing because you don't see it from a different direction.
see, and I've come across that with like antique places.
Same.
I happen to really, if I'm really taking my time, I'm like scanning, just like
I'm not scanning. I'm just curious about things. If I see something I'm interested in, like cast iron, you and I would look over cast iron all day long.
yeah.
But and you would go after the Coleman stuff and everything else. When I went to the Watcher County Flea Market that one time, I sent you so many Coleman pictures. You should have had flooded your camera with.
So, dude, I'm good. I got 3 lanterns. I got 3 stoves.
Well,
I got one lantern. I've got one lantern that's never been fired. Never ever.
Like my dual fuel stove that I found for $80.
Right, and that's the only thing right now. I'm looking for a one of them single dual fuel stoves and a lantern, dual fuel lantern.
Oh, okay.
But
You want me to keep my eye out at the flea market for you on that?
yeah, doggone, they're getting expensive around here from what I see on Facebook.
Brand new, a Coleman dual fuel, or at least a used one, because they don't find them new in the box like I did. They don't make them.
Yeah,
They discontinued them. But I happen to have one because Ian pointed it out to me. But I had to call Jenny, my wife, for those people who don't know who she is, to make sure spending $80 I was allowed to spend the $80 for it.
Yeah, they discontinued them because like some of them blow up.
Well, that's what you have to service them.
Yes, and that's
People don't realize if you keep on switching types of fuel, whatever you start with, you stick with.
Yep.
If you use white gas, keep with white gas. But I don't plan on using white gas in that one. I plan on using unleaded.
Yeah, I get it. Yep.
And
the
unleaded
higher octane,
will be
the higher octane unleaded you use, the longer it's going to last.
Exactly. And the fact is, it'd be more prevalent to be found in a situation where, say either a grid down situation, that's the high end reason why I got it, because if a gas goes out, I have a way of cooking, not just regular food, but all kinds of food. Now, I don't have the stove like he does. He's got the stove that goes with it.
I wonder if you could use E85.
I don't know. It's got a high alcohol content, so I don't know.
But it's less corrosive.
It is an unleaded gasoline.
No, it is, but it's less corrosive because it's more alcohol than it is anything else.
Now that would probably be bad on the seals. So I probably in the jets. I probably would not use that then.
That's one that bothers me about eating, the 10% stuff is because it's bad on 2-strokes and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, so I'd probably stick with a premium
on a 2-stroke.
A premium fuel would probably, or just a regular
camp fuel,
unleaded gas if you can get it. straight unleaded. You can buy
Yeah,
regular unleaded, and then there's premium unleaded.
Yeah, you can get
Casey's
zero.
sells that a lot. For those people who
You
know
can
what
get
Casey's is.
zero leaded gas from Walmart for lawnmowers.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
That will work in a Coleman dual fuel.
yeah. Like it's just like what fuel? Like everybody has a gas station. You know what I mean? Like
I do have a question for those people because I did acquire something over the weekend. Well, we're going thrifting for Ian because he went to the Goodwill Outlet Center in Des Moines, where everything you won't buy anything individually, you buy it by the pound.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what the outlets. Basically, it's the place where all the stuff from all the Goodwills go to if it doesn't sell.
Really?
Yep. Well, after we got done with that place, because I couldn't last long because my knee wouldn't let me.
the light.
We went to a couple other places. There was a shop that I picked up a chainsaw for $20. A Stanley chainsaw.
In here, in like
42 inch.
nothing.
42 cc, 18-inch chainsaw.
Yeah,
What
like
the heck?
But the thing is, I
be-
don't know how to do small engine maintenance enough to. I think I need to get the right fuel for it because it needs to be.
Yeah, Google it.
I just emailed them, Stanley.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the meth thing, and I had the case and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Oh, came with a case and everything. Good grief. Nice.
$20. I couldn't be. Stanley's a good brand.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley is like. I think I believe they are like. They have a 3-year warranty on their paint. So
Stanley owns DeWalt.
I was gonna say, yeah. There's a connection.
I got to replace the chain on it though. The chain is dull.
Because
he had tried cutting down some trees down in the back, and it barely cut through anything. But the replacements are cheap at Walmart.
Figure out what size you need, and I don't know, go to Amazon or whatever, and get
Walmart carries it locally.
Walmart does. Okay, my Ace will sharpen for like $6.
Yeah, so I just got to get the right fuel and make sure the oil's topped off, and check the spark plug, make sure it's clean. But that's about all I can do. And so have that done.
Where the spark plug will never be clean.
Yeah, well,
it's always going to be black.
I met Daniel.
Yes.
Where the cover comes off and the chain goes around, make sure that's all. Have an old toothbrush, clean that junk up all the time. That gets clogged up on them all the time.
I watched the video about how do you change the chainsaw blade.
There you go.
So, how to make sure it's tight and all that whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So
just pull down. You got a couple 3 teeth showing. You're good to go.
Yeah. As long as it's tight, it doesn't have any play. But that's down the road. I'm not doing that yet. But because we got a big clump of trees that shouldn't be there, it just scrub brush. We're trying to cut it down. That way we'll have more room in the backyard.
Cut the scrub brush down. That's fuel for your camp.
Oh, I've got plenty of trees. I've got stacks of logs in my backyard that was there when I moved in. We're talking huge.
He's got firewood just like I do then.
Yeah, I've got logs this big around.
Mine's just all like laying there tipped over and everything.
I just need a chainsaw to cut it. And that's what I'm going to do to get that. Once I get that chainsaw running, I can just cut them up and I'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
The only thing this house does not have is a fireplace, which really freaking sucks. But I have plans if I ever own this place, because this is a World War II track home, and this place would be built for it. So if anybody knows anything about World War track homes.
Say that again?
World War II track homes. It's basically after World War II and all the soldiers came home. The companies, this is basically a cookie cutter house.
That's what I had, Colin, when I was a deputy sheriff up in Gettysburg, because the Air Force Base in Gettysburg.
You understand what I'm talking about. Every house is exactly the same, with a few exceptions on the inside.
South Dakota has these governor houses, and that's basically it's like boop, 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 boop.
Yep, and a lot of people they come home from the war, they bought these houses because that's what they could afford. And,
right.
This house is different because it's got a full basement.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
So, and it's got a full bathroom downstairs. So it's got extras that most places don't.
Mhm.
Do you want to hear something really funny?
What's that?
So, how many? Okay,
How many clowns
the
can
house,
fit in a clown car?
this house here has a basement. And I live in Arizona.
Arizona's with basements was very, very rare.
I was gonna say it.
Mhm.
I lived in Mesa for a while. I
Yeah,
understand.
and we opened up a window, and there's somewhat of a fucking tunnel. Sorry for cussing.
Probably
What?
a service tunnel or an
A
access
tunnel?
access tunnel.
Yeah,
But
it was built in.
we're
It
not going to
was
go into
built
that
in.
right yet. We can do if you ever decide to go live and do your own lives when you get to that.
Oh yeah,
point.
no, like I got to get to 50 subs, and I can't get there. Like
Well, Scott will be there. If Scott hasn't
You-
subbed yet.
Get a hold of me. We got to talk about knives and whatnot. Yeah, I'll get. Yeah, I'll
We
sub.
know people, Daniel. We know people.
yeah, no, I know. Like I'm not saying like I'm like
And by the way, sorry, I got to answer. Tuck, there's nothing wrong with the old Stanley thermoses. Those are actually better than the new ones.
the older the better
Except for the glass ones, you got to be careful with the glass ones.
because they shatter.
Oh,
They do shatter.
I remember that. My
carried
dad
one
having them back in the day and having to get a new
My
little.
dad carried one for 15 years before some idiot ran it over with a truck. And my dad drank the same kind of coffee, which was straight black.
What else is there?
Well, he was a veteran. He
can't
was a
drink coffee.
Marine. And yes, before people chastise me about using the word "was" with a Marine, past tense because he passed away. That's the only reason I use the word "was."
And I
Once a
will
Marine,
I
always a
will
Marine.
what
If he's
I
dead,
will
he's dead.
100% say anybody talks anything about a Marine. My old man was a Marine, and
So is my wife's dad was a Marine. So yeah, we understand.
there's some fisticuffs to come from that.
As Marine father kids, we understand completely. But my dad was what he considered. He said that all Marines are dumb. Does that make him a smart Marine?
Yeah. And I know this question, and I know the answer.
But my dad also had the best job he could physically get in the military.
My dad was a drill instructor.
My dad was a.
Oh wow.
He was. I guess I don't know what the Marine Corps designations are, but his MOS was motor pool.
Oh,
He was a chauffeur driver for a general. I have no clue what it is. He never told me.
No.
But that's what he did when he was in the service right before he got out. The last thing he did when he got out. He was stationed over in Okinawa.
He was probably there with my dad.
Who knows? But he worked for the general.
He's a sergeant at arms of motor.
No, he was a corporal. I do know that.
But if he drove for anybody, he was a sergeant.
He was a corporal.
Yeah, but like if he was a corporal, like
that was his rank.
But when he's driving someone with rank, like back then, everything didn't make sense. It was just their pay. Whatever. I'm not gonna.
Well, I've got stories for my dad, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
and my uncle's still alive, and he's 83.
Okay, Took. I've never heard of a cork cap one. That's
back to. I figured it'd be older than 70s. But hey, everybody, I got to get going. Good grief. It's like.
I will call you about 4:00 tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm about 45 minutes past my bedtime for getting going tomorrow. So.
Well, right now, until further notice, I'm still on restriction of being stuck home for the next couple months at the very least. So, because they're far from. I'm going to go see my doctor next Wednesday. So hopefully I'll hear more about it, but Healing wise, one thing, but it's the physical therapist who's got the final say on.
Oh, I know that. I was there about what year and a half ago.
And he said about 4 months before after my surgery.
Yeah.
So if I had it the last day of February, that's all of March, April, May, and June.
In most likely the end of July.
Or no, beginning of July.
Well, no, like
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere in July.
End of February, end of June, beginning of July, somewhere in there. But they ought to make sure I can fully bend my knee, the whole 9 yards. Now I'm not there yet. I'm a long ways off. But it's only been a month, folks.
Yeah.
Friday, it's only been 1 month.
It takes time.
That surgery. So I've got another 3 months at least before I'm anywhere near where I need to be, and another year before I'm fully functional. So,
yeah, I never did get functional after a year or 2 years. So, but that's
being able to kneel would be my
my
biggest
shoulder.
But that's neither here nor there. Scott, go to bed.
Yep.
That's
All
an
right.
order, sir. I don't like ordering my
Scott,
friends, but you need to go to bed.
I know.
Scott, get a hold
Night,
of me.
everybody.
Talk
Love
to you,
y'all.
brother.
Take care. Daniel, get a hold of me an email or something like that.
I'll get
figure
your
it out.
email and stuff. I'll
I'll,
contact you on Instagram.
Okay. I'll do a video, give a shout out, something like that.
All right, thank you.
All right. Take care, everybody. Night.
Night.
Bye, brother. Okay, you want me to kick you off, or you're going to be going yourself? There he goes. He's gone.
So how is your knee doing? Like, this is my first
Today
thing,
actually was a better day than usual, but I have my good days and I have my bad days. But today was the first day, real good day. It still hurts if I sit up too long. I can't keep it bent for over as long as I had it. Like you saw me set up.
yeah.
That was. I mean, I was actually in pain. I didn't say anything, but I was actually hurting really bad. But now that I got my leg up, which is since I'm sitting in my recliner, that's why I can do it now. Actually, there isn't. I don't have a specialized bag, Doug, on the. No, thank you. I'm good.
No, it's.
I'm not hungry.
You keep trying to get to it.
I'm not hungry. But
Hi, Jenny.
no, that was Ian.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Ian.
You can say happy birthday to him though.
Happy birthday, Ian.
Ian.
Yeah.
Daniel says happy birthday.
That's out.
He's got his mouth full of turkey, by the way.
My uncle just ran into turkey season open up in Maine, and they all
this
got
was
worms.
sliced turkey. So
No. Like
that's
you
what
said that,
But,
and like it popped in my brain. My uncle just ran into
turkey season is coming up, though. You're right.
In Maine, it's already open, and
no, April is for Iowa. I mean,
yeah, but in Maine they all have worms.
Ugh.
Yeah, so there's issues going on up there.
The best bag you get, home bag, is the best one that suits your needs. There's no such thing as a number one best bag because each bag is different and each one will suit your. My bag that I have is very modular because all the outside pouches are removable. Okay, so that's what's great about that. Like I said, the main bottom pouch that just sits on below the bag could either be a sling bag or a waist bag, depending on the configuration. So it allows options.
My thing with like bug out get home bag is 100% you need a dry bag.
Dry bags. If you have available to get dry bags, get a dry bag. You can use Ziplocs if you got the right size ones, whatever.
You can also
gallon freezer bags are your friend.
You can cryovac
vacuum bags are good.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I'm like this is where I'm at. Like I'm like I want everybody to understand, like you can, instead of having a pouch, you can have a cryovac bag or a baggie that is a dry bag for certain things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, there are some things that I don't have in my bag that I will be adding to it, but you don't see. I mean, I was going to add a hydration bladder to my bag because my bag has a slot for that, but I'm not using it at the moment
mhm.
because I don't need to at the moment. Because of my situation as it stands with me being injured, I don't need to be carrying that much extra weight on me.
in in the way I think of, like, looking at it, and the way you look at it, or like
Everybody's different.
everybody's different, and like it's not a argument, it's a discussion.
Hmm.
And then, like,
And
my
you also
like
got to
our
remember, it guys got to go towards your climate, your
yeah, and that
elevation,
yeah,
everything.
and that's what, in my mind, like, my bug out bag is gonna be probably the complete opposite of yours,
Right.
because you have cold weather. I don't.
I also have some things that are not shown here that I have. Like I do have a takedown bow, which I keep in a case,
Yeah,
which I could strap to the outside of my pack,
yeah, and
uh,
like I
along
like
with the quiver.
in my mind, I have all that stuff in my pack, but like we both said, it's where you're at and where I'm at. And like
It,
that's
it
what
depends
people
on the
need to understand.
person. It depends on the situation. Depends on the season. And before people say that Arizona does not get seasons, they do.
Oh no, yeah,
Winter is freaking cold there, folks. It
yeah,
may not be like Iowa or any place where it gets a lot of snow. They can get snow. They can get ice.
no. The
It just
Flagstaff just cut 8 inches of snow, which is um
my sister
two
lives
and
in
a,
Flagstaff. That's the reason,
which is 2.5 hours north of me.
yeah.
You know what
Well,
I
they're
mean?
closer to the mountains than you are too. So,
Yeah.
but that's besides.
No, but like it's still like a bug out. Like you got to be able to deal with that too.
But the bug out bag is basically for just enough for you to get home with. I work when I'm at my workplace over 50 miles from my home,
Hmm.
and it's not necessarily that I don't have a car, but if I can't get there from here due to a tornado takes out the roads or
There ain't
a flood
one bag
takes
that
out a bridge that gets me
true.
between here and my house, that kind of thing, then I have to stay in place. I have the items I need to get by until I can get through. Now, my medication in my bag that I carry is good enough for a little over a week. That's all. I mean, my ibuprofen, a lot longer because that's what I've got.
But
But you just need it
aren't you?
enough to get you home, and that's all it's for. It does not mean it's an all inclusive. It does not have to be 100%. It's packed as I keep mine, but I'm packing for two, not just one, because I got
Yeah,
to think
no.
of my wife on top of me.
I'm packing for Tiff too. Like I'm
Well,
just
doesn't
like,
mean that Tiffany can't carry stuff.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, she
but
can.
Jenny has a foot injury at the moment, which means she can't walk very fast. And with my injury, means I can't walk very fast. So a normal
Yeah,
50-mile trip on foot, which normally
that's
would take a good person who can actually walk 4 days to do, would probably take us over a week.
yeah.
And
And
that's
like
why the tent.
and like this like another thing, like you said MREs.
Yeah. You could use alternatives. You can do instant potatoes. You can do the foil tuna packets. By the way, you know the
Yeah,
ones that
no,
already said
no,
the sandwich stuff. That's works
yeah.
really well. You can do the same thing with spam. Spam comes in those
Oh,
foil packets. Um,
and
Instant
That's what
potatoes. I love instant potatoes.
Yeah. Get a hold of me on Facebook. My brother will get you MREs.
Okay. Nothing with
Yeah.
mushrooms, please. Nothing with mushrooms.
No,
That means,
like he no, like it's what you want. Like
yeah. Well, you know what the favorite one is mostly chili mac. That stuff is
well,
near impossible to find.
everybody likes chili mac.
Yeah, everybody
because
loves chili mac. I like the beef
Yeah.
stew. I like the spaghetti. I like the
But
chicken and
you're not
noodles.
you're
All
not
that
gonna
stuff.
get ripped off. It's from someone in the military.
I understand. It's just the fact is that I ordered it and I came home. It came in with an empty
Yeah,
box.
that's you know what I mean.
I still
Like
got the
that.
box. It's right over there.
I'm glad you got your money back, but it's still people taking advantage of people.
I don't know if it was a warehouse thing or a transport thing that someone in the because the tape it was taped up when it got to me with packing tape.
Yeah, no, I've that whatever.
Okay, being in a suburb like you are, Took, I would suggest you get a Silcock key. Um, if you know what that is, Daniel, I'm not sure if you do. Um, it allows you to turn on the water on the outside spigots when they don't have handles, stuff like that. It works on mainly on like business, office buildings. If the water goes out or grid down situation, and you need water, you saw these little spigots on the outside of buildings that don't have any handles on them when you walk by. You usually see them next to the spigots for fire hoses and stuff that usually have the built out outside fire hoses thing. You can get water from there, and because the water's in the pipes, and it'll gravity feed to your location.
Or
So
a pair of vice grips.
vice grips are a little bit more obvious. A Silcock key is like a little plus thing about that big.
Yeah, I know, but like if it's to like get water for your family,
That's why I like the Silcock key. It's smaller. You don't notice it because it's not something you normally look for. But a pair of pliers always looks like a pair of pliers.
yeah, and it gets the job done.
Exactly. Though you could use a socket set for something like that too, if you think about it. Just find the right size socket that'll fit those. As long as you know what it is, and watch it be a number 10 millimeter or something like that.
No, I like honestly, I think it's an 8, and it's a Phillips.
Oh, well, the thing is, it's neither here nor there. It's just an idea. But
Yeah,
that's
no,
why I
like
like my Silcock key. It fits 4 different types of those.
yeah,
So I
no,
don't have to
like
worry about it.
I'm not against any of what you're saying. I'm just like I think it's an 8 in a Phillips. Like you take
And
the
yeah,
8 out of it, and it's a Phillips. I think.
right. Okay, Daniel, just to let you know, South Florida is in South Florida now, but he's not originally from there. He's from New York State.
Oh,
So he knows
so
cold weather.
yeah,
He just hasn't been there all his life. He just retired there for the most part.
well, he retired in Florida.
Yeah.
That's a good place to retire.
Night, Jason. Hope you feel better, brother. Keep me informed what's going on, okay? I'll see you. If you're home by tomorrow, we'll see you tomorrow. But suburbs, you got to be careful because you got a lot of people between you and home. And there's no place that you won't stand out as someone that doesn't belong in somebody's neighborhood if you're walking.
Don't crap in your own backyard.
And then your own backyard is usually about 10 blocks from home.
Yeah,
Say this.
because everybody knows you. I went from South Boston to the middle of New Hampshire.
I don't know New Hampshire. Never been. I've been over Boston. Does that count? But that's about it.
I mean,
I flew out of
beautiful.
Chicago. Went over Boston. That's about as close as I got.
Yeah, New Hampshire's beautiful. Maine's beautiful. My camp in Maine's beautiful. Not going there.
No, I mean, I do plan someday, if I could ever go to afford it and my health has allowed me to do so, hike the Appalachian Trail. That's my dream thing to do. But right now, this is not an option at the moment. I do have a shorter trail that I'd like to try that's a little closer, but it's only 480 miles instead of over 2,000. But that's
I
somewhere else.
think I do believe they're trying to add to the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, they always add to the Appalachian Trail. It
No,
always
like-
changes because what happened with Hurricane Helene last year and everything else, the trails got really messed up.
No, I think they're gonna go from Canada and Maine, and they're gonna make a descent.
I don't think they're going to allow it. I don't, because of the situation right now. So we're not going to go into that situation because that's politics, and I don't talk politics with anybody
Okay.
because that's a button topic, and
Yeah,
people
no,
get heated, and I don't want anything to do with that.
no, and I understand, and
Hey, Sean Crawford, how you doing, brother? He's our trucker buddy. He travels all over the United States with a big semi.
I'm bringing you
Greetings from Kansas City. Which side, Missouri or Kansas side? You got to be a little bit more clear on that one, Sean.
Sean, are you like down by the street racing scene? Sorry, there's a big.
He's actually
street
one of
race.
my winners of my giveaway when I did the telescopic fishing poles. You know that fishing pole I showed off earlier?
Mm-hmm.
He won one of those. I bet you're tired, brother.
Oh, he's in Missouri. Okay. Then, Colin, remember that big old cookery thing I showed your son?
Right. He's not a big.
Yeah.
He's not a fan of the style.
No. Like, I'm not a fan of it. I made it, and I'm not a fan of it.
I mean, okay, I do know like the original cookeries with the Gurkhas that used them and everything else. Those, if you can get one of those, which is like near impossible, by the way.
Well, yeah.
Those things are like legendary, but no, I don't have I have no need for the. I don't like close. Excuse me. Up close combat is not my thing. Close quarter combat is not my skill set.
No, I beat that thing out yesterday, and like, I'm like, yep, that was
Be well,
like,
Took. Thank you for coming, brother. I'll talk to you later.
my own design, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I showed you the blades that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Now,
No.
The thing is, I do
got a
own
bunch
bigger
of those.
blades, but that's it. I mean, I've got a couple swords. This little thing right here is it's a French arming sword style.
Yeah,
and I've got the Strider sword from Lord of the Rings. But
the one sword I made was the heck's his name? The Last Kingdom. Uhtred's, I believe his name was.
I have no idea. I didn't see it.
It was on The Last Kingdom.
I didn't see it.
Okay. Yeah, I made that, and I'm like, yep, that's not me.
Now, the best blade I ever owned that I loved, but it got stolen from me years and years and years ago, when I was back in college, was a Eric the Red Cast Iberia short sword, Viking short sword. Loved that blade. It was about that wide, palm width, about that thick at the blade, but the blade was that wide, about that wide, and it was only like 23 inches long. For a sword, it was balanced to my hand because I got short arms, but really thick forearms, and it had a really nice sheath and everything else. Bought it brand new in California when I was in the service. I cried the day I found out that it got stolen from me.
Yeah, it's like I design like my thing is I designed it, made it, and it sucked.
It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, not every design is going to work for you.
Oh no.
So, I mean, I like shorter blades for the work they do, not for combat.
Yeah. No.
That's why I use bows.
Yeah. No.
I like
And
to
like
reach out and touch someone from a distance.
yeah, that was my
I
100%
was
job.
also really good with that with rifles too. But
That was my job over there. But
well,
anywho,
it wasn't
like,
my. Remember, I was a medic. I'd rather
yeah.
be. I'd rather take. I like. Okay. Old Mother Hen was another thing. You know, being called Doc is a normal thing, as you already know.
Yeah.
But I like making sure my people are good.
Yeah, like there
But
was
the
a
fact is that they expected me to carry tons and tons and tons of stuff on top of my medical gear.
it's not
It's not practical.
no, and I understand it. I 100% understand it, and it's like I think this is a conversation that should be otherwise. Like no,
That's it's one of my pet peeves before when I reason I got out because after I left, they are allowing medics to carry pistols over rifles. I don't mind
yeah,
being armed. That was not the issue. I did not. If someone I needed to shoot someone, that is not an issue.
it's you need to be able to do your job
Without having to
and
worry
not.
about where my rifle is when I'm trying to take care of a patient.
Yeah, exactly.
Patient first, rifle second.
Yeah,
You know, but trying to carry all that stuff and a patient and their gear on top of that because you got to watch their gear too.
that doesn't happen. Like
It
there's
it's
no
not safe to
way.
do. No, it's a lot of weight. Oh wow, that's not good, Sean. Is it broken down on the bridge or off the bridge? On a bridge. Okay. Wow. I'm not a truck driver. I know how to. I mean, could I drive one? Yes. But in the service, the biggest thing I ever drove was a deuce and a half. But that's because I had to carry patients. The ambulance.
Okay, and that has to be a loose term of patience.
What do you mean loose term?
Like may or may not. It has to be loose.
It was patients at the time. But
I mean, they're all patients, but it's
well, they were injured.
yes.
Let's go with that. When your vehicle gets down, you get them to where they need to go because
Yeah. Oh yeah.
my
As fast as
company
you can.
was the ones that okay, I'm going to use MASH as an example because it's a perfect
Mhm.
example for what I did. I was an ambulance driver. We were the ones. Okay, you heard about the battalion aid stations in MASH, where the
Yep.
the patients come off the field, that the
Yep.
soldiers come off the field to be initial triaged.
Mhm.
When they went from there to the MASH, was the ambulances and stuff.
Mhm.
We drove the ambulances. So basically,
Yeah.
from the battlefield to the hospitals. That's what we did. That's what my company did.
And you probably did better for them than
I wasn't okay. I'll be honest here. I missed out on being sent over by 1 month because I got out. My time of service was up. They cutoff date was like literally 30 days after I got out. Was trained for everything to go, but I didn't.
okay. Well, don't think it's anything disrespectful from me at all.
But my
And
my crew, I mean, my platoon, they left, like I said, 30 days after I got out,
yeah, no,
and
that
I met, I know I met one last year, one of my platoon members, and he said, "You were freaking." I'm not paraphrasing because I'm not using the words he used. I was effing lucky that I did.
and I will tell you this 100% on my side of it.
Because remember, I like I said, I got out in 2003.
Yeah, and I'm not right behind you.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And it's
not so
not.
much the knowing how to drive it. It's I can drive a stick shift, but I've never done more than 5 gears.
None of that, like,
And deuce and a half I had was an automatic, so that's the only way I can drive that one.
yeah, no, like I'm just saying, like, the government then and the government now, or even like 2 years after what we went through,
It was
is
22 years ago when
completely
I got out.
different.
So
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't. I don't know. Let's not talk about that because then
yeah, that's going down a rabbit hole. That's
that's
if anybody ever says that the military is not political, that's BS.
yeah.
Plain and simple.
And,
So
and
that is going to
100,
be
and I will say the government 100% pays people to do bad stuff.
well. I was not on that end. I was on the other end. So
I'm on the bad end.
I understand this. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. So that's the end of this topic of conversation. Now, automatic transmission I can drive. Yes. Very true, Sean. So I am 12 after 10. I was not expecting to be on this long, to be honest, but I hope that, someone like, I'm going to be ending my live soon because I'm tired. As anybody can actually hear it in my voice, I'm getting a little raspy.
You're sounding old.
I'm not old. I'm older, but I'm not old.
I
But
know.
I just haven't drank anything in over 3 hours. So my throat's a little dry. Normally I have a coffee with me and I'm out of coffee.
And like, I was gonna say that a while ago. Like, you used to get up like 3, 4 times, get coffee.
Well, normally I have one before I start my live. Then I
Yeah.
suck on it as I go through my live. And it's got caffeine, it's got the sugar, keep my throat lubricated, that kind of thing. But lately I've been doing a lot more talking, and showing off my gear. But I hope everybody liked the gear that I showed off and explained why I needed it and why my gear is not necessarily perfect for you. But like I said, if I was just me, I may not have this much as gear. To be honest, I could pare it down quite a bit because I wouldn't really need it. Now, if I was just me, I would use the tarp in a tent configuration and not need the tent at all. But I have a wife to consider and her comforts and stuff like that. So that's part of the whole situation, which is why she would have a pack and I would have a pack. And everybody distributes the weight accordingly. Just like you and Tiffany would do the same.
Yeah. No. I was sitting there thinking, like, as you were saying that, I'm like I'm redesigning, like, in my mind off what this video
Oh, like I
of.
said, your pack will never be 100% finished. If you
No,
do it right,
I,
it will
like
never be finished.
I'm redesigning it because of what you
Now,
just
I hope
said.
you take good ideas from what I said
No,
and
like
find something that
I'm
suits you and Tiffany, because
yeah,
just because it suits you, because you have some skills, but Tiffany has different skills that she might need something a little different in her pack that
yeah,
help. Because
and I'm 100%
also, sorry for
with that.
talking over you, because as a medic, my first aid kit would not be in my kit in my backpack. You know why?
No, my med kit would be on the back of my backpack, so it's
Wrong. For me, it would not. As the primary medic of our couple, it would be in Jenny's pack where I can reach it.
like
I can go turn her around, grab her stuff out of her pack, better than she could reach in and grab what I need without knowing what I need. That makes sense?
not really, because you want
Okay.
it. Either person needs to get to it as easy as possible. So
Well, the thing is,
being on the outside of a pack, regardless of whose pack it is,
well, I'd rather
needs
have
to
where
be
I don't have to shuck all my gear off to get to my first aid kit. That's my biggest issue. Now, if she's got it where I can get to it, where just by turning her around, then grabbing it, and and going, because it'd be the
What if
snap-on Molly style, I can get it
you're
done,
injured?
get to it really quickly. Accessibility is
You're-
right. And now, would I have a small one where she could reach it? Probably the same. But hers would be more extensive because I'd be using that one. And hers would be, the one behind me would be a little less.
in
And be
You know
well,
what I mean?
Mike, I didn't know you were
Like,
here, but thank
looking
you for
at it
coming.
at that sense, that makes sense. But you know, like, first aid needs to be first.
Right.
Like, even
Jenny knows
like,
basic first aid. She's got that. She had that certification. Mine is the couple levels up from there. I'm above
But
first
where
responder. I'm as an EMT. I'm above that.
but where it's placed at doesn't help anybody else around you if they don't know where it's at.
Right. That's why it would be in the same place on both packs. But the thing is, just because I would have hers accessible better for me, that way I don't have to shuck anything to get to it. Neither does
But
she.
if you're injured and she has to shuck everything, you know,
Right.
like, that's what I'm getting at.
Well, she
Is
can use the basic stuff to get me going, get to me stable.
yeah,
And the
but
first
like,
thing most people don't realize,
even if it's like, in my mind, it should be basics on outside of both packs,
right.
a main first aid kit
Oh, I've
in
got a
one of
big
the
kit,
packs.
but I haven't got the Molly pouch for it yet. That's the
Yeah,
only reason I don't
like,
have it available. Like I said, my skill set's a lot higher than Jenny's, and I actually learned some extra stuff on severe burns because of Jenny, but that's a whole different story. Fish someone out of the water. Yep. That's the thing. I mean, everybody has their skill sets, and okay, folks, I think I'm toast. My brain is going sideways. But I want to say
it's like
thank you,
me.
Daniel, for coming. If you want, Daniel, I could put my address in the private chat right here.
No, just shoot me a Facebook message.
I can do that.
All right.
Oh, I didn't know you were a lifeguard, Sean. That's cool. They have their certifications too, so that's pretty cool. I've had CPR certification. I've even had the electronic defibrillary certification, as well as the basic,
And like,
CPR.
what's different from you guys' kits in here in Arizona? We have to carry a snake bite kit.
Did you not see me pull out 2 snake bite kits?
Yeah, no, like, but like, that
There's
has
snakes
to be,
here too. I mean, we have to deal with. We don't have the
yeah.
same snakes you do, but we have rattlesnakes here. We
Yeah.
have copperheads, we have timber rattlers, and we have water moccasins.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 3.
No, I'm not disagreeing with any of that. It's just
So
like,
that's, I mean, and I've run across timber rattlers in while backpacking here in Iowa. It was only that big.
yeah, like,
I
I'm
mean,
not
literally, he was like
against
that big around, but he's just as
anything.
deadly as the big ones.
Like, I just don't like. I don't believe first aid should be packed away.
No, it should.
In my
No, you should have several layers of kits, depending on the severity of the situation.
Yeah,
But
but it shouldn't
that's a
be in
whole
the.
different. We can do a whole live on
Yeah,
just first aid, folks.
yeah.
Just let you know. And that's a whole rabbit hole you got to go down because there's different situations. I do not believe in tourniquets, folks, because that's a last resort. Even though you see all these people selling these tourniquets and all this other stuff, tourniquet is literally the last thing you do if you have no other choice.
If you have to put a tourniquet on someone, they're dying.
No, their limb is gone. If that's the point, pretty much it.
Well, and I can, you can say that, I can say it my way, but yeah. Like, I'm not against anything. Like, 100% first aid needs to be on the outside. And,
Oh, you always got to carry twice of what you think you need.
yeah, that and you
Where
need.
you were at, most people don't realize. Okay, they give you a bandage. You need two of the same kind because, yes, there's an entry wound. Then you
There's an
forgot about
exit
to ask.
wound.
What about the exit wound? What exit wound? That's the first thing you should ask. There's always an exit wound.
And that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I know about all that, Daniel. You know, I've got experience.
No, and like another thing I think a lot of people don't think about is a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, there's that too. But Daniel, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right.
Love you, brother.
Love you too.
Give a hug to Tiffany for me, please. I really appreciate it. Be well, be safe. I'll leave you a message on Facebook about my address. And I will catch everybody hopefully tomorrow on Jason's live if he's there. If not, I'll catch you on Thursday on my normal live there. So be well, be safe. I love you guys all. I'm out of here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.